Hello everybody! Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. Happy Saturday! Welcome back to another Hazel stream. It's Nighthold time. I am just logging on to each of my characters to Dalaran hearth them back to Dalaran because I have this idea that it'll, you know, if it cools down while I'm doing the rest of the mount runs, then I can... You know what? It doesn't make any sense. It's not like I'm going to use my Dalaran Hearthstone to get them out of there. Oh well. Hello. Bedak531, thank you very much for the 35-month reset. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I guess I'm going to stop doing that because there's not really a whole lot of point to it. So I'm going to start up here. We're farming for the green Hellfire, or for the green Infernal. I honestly don't remember what it's called. The green one. And that can drop from Mythic or Heroic or Normal. And because I have the Mythic skip, I actually have the Heroic and Normal skip on 1, 2, 3, 4 characters for sure. I think the 5th one as well. Not 100%, but I'm pretty sure we can run this 15 times with a skip before we have to start full clearing anything. So I'm going to see how long that takes me. And then maybe look into running it on some of these characters. But these guys haven't had their gear makeovers yet, so I might need to mail them some stuff if it's going to come to that, because they'll have an easier time if I can get them a quick extra 100 item levels or whatever. But if Gul'dan wants to just say, hey Hazel, good morning, happy Saturday, here's your mount, then I don't need to, and I can just leave him alone. Kitty cat, hello, welcome, good morning, happy Saturday. You want to come up? Hey, I know, I moved the computer around. I was trying to get a better Bluetooth signal. It's not going well. I have a new plan now. Hi. Well, there you go. There you go. Okay, let's see. I should be a Devastation Voker for the moment. It's only like a, 2 weeks left of only having 2 specs in my spec option. And then Preservation is gonna get, well, we're gonna lose all of this beautiful blank space in the sign. Hi, kitty cat. You wanna say hi? Hello. Hi. I like our routines. You know, we do this almost every day. And I think that makes it better. Oh, careful, watch your step. You got pretty good balance. Better than me. I fall over. I was trying to stretch out my quads, or, I don't know, one of the leg muscles, and stand on one leg. And I was holding on to a piece of furniture for support. Still managed to fall over. Driven the Curse, thank you for the 18-month reset. Oh, welcome back. She is so cute. Kitty, it's true. It's true. You are so cute. Oh, what am I doing? We're gonna Nighthold, so we need to get a Dalaran Hearthstone rolling. I am still carrying around this 402 Void Touch Curio. It's from Sarkareth. I did Elefar Sarkareth off stream this week to try for the Evoker Legendary before I knew that it was not going to help me, because I hadn't found out yet at that time about the clarifications to the drop rates. But anyways, I did Elefar Sarkareth and I got a Curio, and I'm saving it to go turn it into basically just to use for Mog. I figure I can get the piece, and then I can upgrade it with Flight Stones, especially if I have extras, which I'm sure I must. Yeah, I'm capped in Flight Stones, so I just need to buy a piece and upgrade it with Flight Stones. It's just I was looking at the Evoker set to try to figure out, I need a slot that I am missing on both Raidfinder and her normal that I actually care about the Mog for. And I don't know, what is... It's a perfectly fine set. It just doesn't look like me. This isn't really... I mean, maybe the shoulders, but I already have the shoulders on normal, so I really shouldn't get the LFR ones. Because then I'm only getting one piece of transmog. I'm flying in entirely the wrong direction. We need to go this way. I also could have used my portal. I'm pretty sure I have a Court of Stars portal on this character from Season 1. Was it just Season 1 that we were doing Court of Stars? Good midnight time here in Australia. Good day, Gul'dan. Afternoon, Hazel and chat. Love your new video. Oh, thanks, Aaron. Got the Visage mount from my 5th Sarkareth. Nice. Oh man, I'm a teeny tiny itty bitty bit jealous. It's a really cool appearance. I have the Razageth skin and I ride around on it Sometimes. But I feel like if I had the Sarkareth one, I would use that on like all of my characters. I would set it up immediately. The Razageth one's very like beefy through the wings. I mean, it's a proto-drake. That's kind of the point. Okay, we're gonna set our difficulty. I think I'm gonna do it top down. I'm gonna do mythic and then heroic and then normal on each character, and then move along. I'm going to Nighthold. It's the raid here in Suramar. There's a mount that drops off of the last boss, and I have a skip for him, so I'm just gonna run him a bunch of times. My plan is 15. I should see if I have, I mean, it's not like I'm gonna get an accurate attempt count now, but it wouldn't hurt me. It wouldn't kill me to turn rarity on. The mount is an infernal. I have the red one. We got that to drop a week or two ago on stream from Mythic. So we're looking for the green one that could drop from any difficulty except LFR. So I need to go indoors. Why am I lost? Okay. I typically know how to do this. I have been in here just once or twice before. I'm still kind of morning crunchy. I actually slept in until my alarm today. And I did manage to get up and go for a run, but I don't think the brain's kicked into gear yet. Excited about the news of BFA raids? Hitting my head against Kill Jaden yesterday? The news was that nothing has happened though. That's the thing. They're adding Shadowlands solo queue to LFR, which has prompted people to discuss when they might retune BFA raids. I might, maybe I wasn't very clear. They're not doing it yet. That's the problem. It's still a bit oofy. Okay, yeah, sorry. I may have misspoken. All right, we're gonna rate difficulty. We're on Mythic, and we're gonna pop in here. I do have some pretty reasonable faith, though, that they're going to continue to kind of look over the old raids that people farm and just have a little look at them to see what can be smoothed out because, or at least the really gnarly pain points because they did the Siege of Orgrimmar skip and it's not unheard of for them to make mechanics changes to old raids. So I hope that they get to it. Always use the Nightfall and Court of Stars portal. The Nightfallen Court of Stars portal. Oh. Mm-hmm. I actually have the Court of Stars dungeon portal on this character. I just can't be bothered to open up my spell journal and do it. Here we go. Let's go see Elisande. She can't possibly have any transmog for me on basically any armor type on Mythic. But maybe once we get into doing heroic and normal and stuff. I think I have all the things turned off currently, but maybe once we get into doing the lower difficulties, I'll have a couple little pieces of transmog to pick up here and there. I don't really know. It's probably in my best interest not to know how much transmog I have compared to how much there is overall in the whole game. I don't have all the things turned on, do I? I mean, I suppose I can turn it on. I've got some RP to wait through. Some stuff might have been lost in translation. I hope your migraine feels better. Those suck. I've got the most perfect summer weather. It's gonna be like warm and sunny, but not super warm, just like 19, 20s Celsius. And then cooling down at night, so I can get like a nice, some nice cool air into my bedroom to sleep. And then I can have some lovely sunny days. I don't know what I would get out and do though. I mean, I go to parks. I think Jazz Fest is beginning or has begun. So I think actually today, if I get out, there's some live music happening in the park that I could go see. Although I had a thing I wanted to do today. But I'm increasingly encountering two conflicting desires. The left hand being the desire to get out a little bit more and see a few things and do some things and take advantage of living in the city while I live here. And then my other hand wants me to... Oh, Key, I got you, honey bear. I got you. Yeah, you want to lay down? It's much more stable down here in the lab. The other hand is the desire to spend no money that does not absolutely need to be spent, so as to save up all the pennies for the dreams, you know. Advice for which doors to open on a fresh character. What does as mean? Doesn't really mean much of anything. There's different vaults. The stuff in the vaults is going to be more or less randomized. You have just the 6 keys that you get given. Yeah, there's not... I could be wrong here. Maybe there is like some kind of logic towards which rooms are always in certain spots. I never tried that hard. I always just opened all the doors. Because if you open all the doors, you can get yourself your upgraded ring in basically 1 week. And then be more or less done with it. Because your vault's not going to be exactly the same as the vault that somebody else has within a week. Like, they're going to be randomized to some extent. Hobbitus, thank you for the 9-month resub. There might be some resources on Reddit or something, though, that say certain rooms are always in specific positions. I don't know for sure. I thought I might have heard something about that. Hi, Gul'dan. He dies so quickly on Mythic because he still has to bring out his friend Illidan. How you been, buddy? You enjoying the view up here? You've got a lovely sunset. I like to think that he enjoys the view. He's got mountains behind him. He's got ocean the other way. He can see the... I was gonna say moon, but I have a feeling that's not the moon. I don't know. Alright. Where's Illidan? There he is. Hi, bud. I need the green infernal. I have the red one. Got the ring, haven't upgraded the item level. Should I just use the new drops? The rings are getting nerfed real soon. They're getting nerfed pretty dramatically with 10.1.5. So I wouldn't stress about it too much. It's also pretty cheap to upgrade. If you want to have a decent ring to use for like a week, getting the gem upgrade thingies from a jewel crafter shouldn't cost you more than like a couple of thousand gold. But yeah, it's gonna, this is a very, very, very short-term problem. Okay, so there's that. What did I decide that I like to do? I decided that I like to run out the door. Or I like to die. That's what I liked to do. Because you could also probably like... Because that's where... There's a specific side that if I was gonna jump off of this... Because I need to pour it out of the instance to change the difficulty is what I need. There's Aluriel. There's where you would like kind of run in. I don't think this is faster than yeah, so there's the portal. I don't think this is faster than just falling to your death and taking the fall death, but I suppose I can do this. Yeah, I forgot that those rings are getting nerfed. That's nice. This means I don't have to bother doing the vault on the alt that I'm getting to 70 now. Oy, I'm gonna need another ring. I think I actually have one stashed in my bank. I have an extra hero ring in my bank. And I don't remember why I had done that, but either way, it's good with me. And I set it to heroic. I don't think I need to reset it, but I do it anyways just for good luck or something. I don't know. Hi, Mark from the park. What's my favorite mount? What is my favorite mount? I like the crab from the Nazjatar meta achievement in BFA, the Snapback Scuttler. It's a good one. Although the fact that he's called the Snapback Scuttler and he does not wear a little hat is pretty rude. I don't know, they add him too fast. The trading post mounts are pretty good. The purple parrot from this most recent month is beautiful, but I can't tell if I like it because it's a beautiful purple parrot or if I like it just because it's new. This is just a big fat case of recency bias. I got double wings. I'm a dragonfly. I'm a butterfly. I'm a fly. We're going to Nightspire. Two champion rings, took off the vault ring. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this thing on for like one more week. Because I think for this particular moment, it's doing okay for me in Raid, but as soon as 10.15 comes out, I'm throwing that thing away. I wonder if it's gonna be one of those things that ends up being useful for time walking, or if it's just gonna be, just get rid of it, make it pretend it never happened kind of thing. What kind of pets do I have in my bars that I can play around with? I put Balial in the bar. Did I have any stories to tell you from yesterday after stream? I thought so, but maybe I just had weird dreams. Time's kind of blurring together a little bit for me. I feel like I was just here doing this. Hey, Hazel and chat. Hello, Saga. How are you doing today? Hi, Honey Bent. Even with the XP buff, struggling to level the Devoker. No idea why she's so squishy. They are a little squishy. It's just the truth. Yeah, I haven't leveled one since early XPEC. Hello, Sandy. You almost ready for me? Hate that I have to choose between the mounts or the pets from the trading post. Yeah, I know. Depending on what they're offering next month in the trading post, I might have to let some stuff go. Because I have a mount. I have basically no tender right now. I have 75 traders tender. I have a mount frozen. I have that the harvester mount, the big bug looking thing, frozen. The bee pet I'm just letting go. I'm just letting that rotate out because I have a very, very similar looking bee pet already, and I figure I can get it one day in the future if it ever rotates back around and I have a tender for it then. But if next month they pack the trading post once again filled with mounts and it's more than I can buy / freeze, then I might need to let something go. I mean, I can't even dragon ride. What are these mounts even for? Hey, I got a transmog. I got a belt. Is it pretty? Is it cool? Belt of Celestial Alignment. If that's Celestial Alignment, it looks like belt of the Bring Your Own Infernal to School Day. It's like when you got those necklaces that let you put a sea monkey in them. Here, you want to wear a brine shrimp around your neck? Haunted Knight. Level 69, I'm level 283, dying left and right to everything. I like the big bug bee, I have no idea why. I have a soft spot for mounts that are like kinda ugly. And I love them because they're kinda ugly. Froze something, don't know how to undo it. You should be able to overwrite that freeze with a different thing. If there's something else you would prefer to freeze more, you should be able to drag that over to the slot and then freeze the other thing instead. I don't think that you can just make your freeze slot empty again, but there's no real reason why you would need to. Is more or less my understanding of it. Huh. Oh, he can't look at the view right now. He's got a ceiling. Is he talking to me? He is talking to me. I mean, it's a beautiful ceiling. Imagine the cleaning bills, though. If the seagulls get up there and make a mess, that's going to be hard to get up and clean. I love my Rashok's Molten Heart, but every time I want to film any footage, I find myself taking it off just so I don't have like a random red orb confusing whatever the thing I was trying to get footage of was. I like it when trinkets have visual effects, but I don't know if I need them to be around always, especially when it's just like, I don't know, a little extra bit of fire that you've lost somewhere. I'm just complaining just to complain. I can't complain too much. I have my Rashok's Heart. That's pretty good. Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing today? It's the weekend. People getting comfy. Having their morning and afternoon beverages. Playing some games. Oh, I keep forgetting. I have to kill his friends on normal and hard. You don't have to really do this part on Mythic. Because he's immune. He's protected. Just lovely. How about you? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm still waking up a little bit, I think. But we've ingested the coffee. Okay, maybe water. Stay hydrated. That might do it. Trying to get away from that orb for a whole day, wondering what it was. Have you seen the Conquest Druid gear? Yeah, I have some of it. I need to do a bit more PvP this. Well, I say more PvP. I need to do any amount of PvP this week. I've been solo shuffling on my Resto Druid. No luck there. I've been solo shuffling on my Resto Druid. I'm gonna just jump off and die this time and try that. And I should do at least enough to get myself 2 vault options is usually the dream, because that'll catch me up a little bit on Conquest, and you know, it also gets me a little bit of progress in the Vicious Mount. I don't have to climb rating or anything. I just have to play a few games and try to go 3 and 3. Because Vicious Mount wise, I am at 18% in the War Snail, so not nothing, but also not much. Raid difficulty normal. And back at it again. Netherwing rep farming, coffee, Hazel, my kind of Saturday. Hello and good day. Hello. Good day to you. Oh yeah, I remembered the plan I came up with yesterday that I was going to share. I've been having some trouble intermittently with my Bluetooth connection to my PC. I have 2 different pairs of Bluetooth headphones. I have like my over-ear ones, and then I have this earbud that I use when I'm streaming. And some days it's totally fine and there's no trouble at all and it works perfectly. And sometimes, on seemingly random times, or sometimes when it's raining, there will just be really, really annoying interference that seems positionally based, and you'd think that maybe it's like the metal mic stand in the way, but no matter how I move the receiver and twist the antenna and reposition everything, it's just horrific. It just cuts in and out and it makes a big crackling sound, and it's interference. And it's really weird how it's sometimes and not other times. And I was like kind of looking, I was like, well, do I want to do wired headphones again? How do I want to go about doing this? And I've decided the next thing I'm going to try, because this has been driving me nuts. It's one thing when it happens. I mean, it's annoying when it happens on and off stream, because it's hard to edit when you can't hear anything. And it's also hard to stream when you can't hear anything. So I was looking into different solutions, and I decided what I'm going to try is a Bluetooth transmitter like people get for their TVs when they want to watch their TV with Bluetooth headphones, that I can just plonk on the desk right in front of me to just fry me with directional Bluetooth with nothing obstructing the line of sight of it. That has to work, right? And then when you know, if in my life I ever decide I want to watch TV with a pair of Bluetooth headphones, then I can also make that happen. But I was just kind of like looking around the different ones and being like, how do I, what's the longest range, most powerful Bluetooth transmitter I can get to sit on my desk to just microwave my noggin with? Joys of fast food. Hubby's out procuring some for us. Love hunting and gathering fast food. What controls do you have for movement? WASD. And then I have A and D bound to strafe left and right instead of keyboard turn, because I don't find a lot of use for keyboard turn. What's up, Hazel? What? Hello. Mount farming? Yeah. I'm gonna do my due diligence in Nighthold this week and see if I can get my friend Gul'dan to give me anything. I need a red one. Or not the red one, the green one. I should learn the name of it. Maybe that'll be good luck. I need the Fellblaze Infernal. I have the Hellfire Infernal. I need the Fellblaze Infernal. They call it a Fiery Beast. Beast is a weird name for it. Yeah, I got the other color of the belt as well. I wonder what that one is. Oh, it's blue. I got a blue one and a green one now. ESDF better for most hand sizes, gives you more keybinds, hard to switch to. ESDF. Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't know. I'm traditional and I have huge spider hands. Or at least relatively big spider hands. I get the big fingers. People used to be like, oh man, you would be great at piano, and then I'd be like, but I'm not. Thanks for reminding me. Eli620, thank you for the 2-month resub. It's like when you're tall as a kid and people tell you that you should play basketball or volleyball, and you're like, yeah, but having a long spine is one thing, being able to use it is another one. The basketball thing is real. I just resented it because I had no coordination or control, and basketball was particularly embarrassing because when you're in the, your school gym and they're trying to get you to dribble and you lose control of your ball, it's gonna bounce really far and roll really far, and then you're just kind of like weaving in and out of everybody else who's dribbling properly and they didn't drop their balls trying to get yours back, and it's the worst. Volleyball was also dangerous because you could hit people and they could hit you, and I didn't care for that, but basketball was a bit of a spectacle. 6'5" can't play. Get asked all the time. Yeah, cool Dan. He's cool for the summer. He's got his V-neck on. But nobody's asked me to do any kind of sport in quite some time. I think they might have caught on. Wish I was cool. Is it hot there? I had dodgeball when I was in school. Did okay both basketball and volleyball. Yeah, the girls that were on the volleyball team, I'm pretty sure almost all of them were shorter than me, but they were all like great. Like they were really good. I was jealous because they seemed to have a really close bond because of being on the volleyball team. Like they all worked really hard together and went on trips together, and they all seemed really close. Like they had a really nice time. And I thought, man, that looks nice. Except that it's important for you to be able to hit the ball. Quite unpleasant here at the moment. And practicing volleyball against the wall in gym class, having the ball bounce off the wall, hit me in the head in front of everyone. Oh man, nothing like school gym for like moderate level injuries. I felt like a lot of people got hit in the head with a variety of things. That infernal contract is not a mount, and it can't trick me. Alright, so we're done with the evoker. She's done enough. She can go home and get rid of all of this stuff, or she can just sit in Valdrakken until I get around to it. Into figure skating until about 12? That'll teach you some skills. They had me in figure skating. There's like figure skating for tots, for like 5-year-olds, and they would have you like make snow with your skates and kind of do the whoopie doopies. Like they do. And that's about as far as I got. I can't skate very well. Plus, it was always really cold and it took way too long to put your skates on. No patience for it. Bad Canadian, can't skate. I think I can just pretty safely just get rid of more or less all of this. And each one is like 15 gold I get to keep. Wow. Yeah. Didn't you have the bond with your bandmates? Yeah, not really. There's too much drama. Band was co-ed. And band... No. Maybe jazz band or like orchestra band, but concert band was too many people that were just there for the credit. I needed other people that were just as fanatical as I was. Marax, thank you for the brand new sub. Welcome to the Scroll Squad. No, they were perfectly good people. They just didn't care about band the way that I did because I was insane. I liked pit orchestra because that was like a much smaller group, at least in high school. Like when you went to play in an actual pit orchestra, that's a big group and they're all adults. But pit orchestra in high school is a pretty small group that would just score the school musicals, and that was cool because it was just like like 6 people, 8 people, and you got to like hang out in the pit. I enjoyed that a lot. I got some grays that I can learn. I'm gonna make sure I have rarity on, just cause. This is the character that I'm doing solo shuffle on for Vicious Mount and, Conquest Gear and Glory, etc. Yeah, we got rarity on. What am I? I'm solo shuffle. I'm like 1400, maybe 1500. Stay in there, kid. I'm going Nighthold. That's right. Who is Pit Orchestra? Cool name. Second chair violin. Music was way too hard for us. It was traumatic. Oh man. That's awful when it's like way over the head of everybody that's there. Or most of the people that's there, and then there's like one diva that's like, come on guys, keep up. Middle and high school era. Band being socially functioning as a social group depends a lot on the volunteer parents. Hobbies was great because his parents volunteered for a lot. Parent volunteers. We just had like the band director. I don't think there was, I mean, maybe there would be like chaperones for events. Like they would drag a couple parents along to help make sure they didn't lose any kids if they took us like to a competition or something like that. But for the most part, it was just, you know, there's your teacher. Speaking from experience with the diva. No, I don't remember. Band was forever ago. I got over my head once I got to university. When I did my very short stint in post-secondary education and a music major, I played in a couple of different settings among people that were way better than me with material that was way harder than what I was used to. And there'd be other people that were kind of in my boat that were like trying to catch up. And then there'd be a couple of people that were just absolute, you know, virtuosos that were impatient waiting for everybody else. And it's especially annoying when you're used to being the diva to immediately be the person that has to try and catch up. Especially when you have to in high school I was used to having basically unlimited access to practice room time because nobody wanted the practice room, so you barely even had to book them. You could just kind of go. And and that wasn't the case when you get to university. There was limited practice rooms. Everybody wanted them. You had to schedule, and then sometimes you kind of had to defend your territory. And I was not really down for that, but I couldn't practice at the place that I lived because it was, you know, I'm a trumpet player, or I was a trumpet player, and it was a suite, a basement suite in like a residential area, and it was no good. In your activity in school like that, parents are expected to spend some amount of time volunteering for it. Oh, I see. Don't remember any parents being involved in anything. Yeah, me neither. Everybody's parents worked, and not even in the area. Like the parents would commute out because we lived in a pretty rural place. Most of the parents would leave early in the morning to drive into the city to go work for like the whole day. So I'm sure there were some people that would pitch in and help for stuff, but not really in anything that I was involved in. Yeah. You would get yourself to school, you would get yourself home from school, and you would keep yourself busy and make your afternoon snack, and then sometime after rush hour, they would make it back home over the mountain, and then you'd be like, "Hi, Mom. I'm hungry." I always used to worry whenever they were late, just because there was always traffic accidents on the road they had to commute, and I was always a little worried that one day they just wouldn't come home because I did not have any good plans on how to be an orphan. Raid difficulty, we're gonna start on Mythic. Because like all I had read were like fiction novels about orphans, and I'm like, well, these ones had a train car in the woods, and then these ones had a bunch of like shifty relatives that would try to steal their fortune, and like, you know, I don't have a fortune, so no one's gonna try that on me, so I'm gonna have to come up with a different plan. Dad had to drive from Clover Point to Pat Bay every day and back again. Slept a lot in the evenings. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. My parents, they didn't need us to cook for them. Sometimes we would just like to be cute and for fun. And I would be expected to, if they were having like a meat thing, and I wanted to eat not meat, I would be expected to make my own like side dish or entree or something that would, you know, fulfill my my nutritional needs, because that was the deal. They were like, listen, Hazel, if you want to stop eating meat, that's fine, but you gotta make sure you're getting your protein and your iron or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I'll eat beans. And then I would just heat up like beans with stuff. Worked good. I always appreciated that my parents let me do that, because I think I would have had a lot more resentment growing up if they had made me continue to eat meat when I didn't want to. I'm in my resto spec. That's not gonna, I mean, it'll probably work, but I'd like to be in Boomy for this. We're gonna switch. Excuse me, yeah. Hi, we're doing this on Mythic first. Read that, the book with the train car in the woods. Boxcar Kids, something like that, yeah. Sad about your anxiety? They always came back. All good. The only traffic accidents that I ever remember, there was a little fender bender that we were actually in the truck, so we had little side-facing seats that aren't wildly safe, and we got rear-ended, and that was a good clunk. But everybody was fine. You know, a couple neck issues, nothing long-lasting. You're young, you bounce back. And yeah, I don't know. They're both very safe drivers, which I appreciated. They're responsible people. Miracle my mom was able to work all day, then come home and cook dinner for the family. Yeah, I don't know. You ever think about, and I mean, I guess this depends on your life and your parents' life and whatnot, but I am 30. I have a cat, and I'm good, you know? When my mom was 30, I would have been like 7, 8 years old. I had a sister that was a couple years ahead of me. You know, she had like a mortgage. She had been at her job for like years and years. Like she was, in my young eyes, like a proper adult. And sometimes I think about all of the stuff that she was doing with like her 2 kids and everything, and like the house and everything at that age. And then I'm like, I managed to renew my car insurance. Woo! You know, like, hang on a second. Ellison, you're just gonna have to wait. Oh, one sec. Okie dokie. Sometimes when Kitty uses the box, it needs to be dealt with immediately. Do you think they would have made you eat meat if they worried about nutrition and health? If that was like the only option, and I was like having real problems that couldn't be fixed any other way, but I don't know. It's just kind of a strange thing because it's not nearly as hard as sometimes it seems to fill a person's nutritional needs without meat, especially if you've got things like, you know, tofu and beans and legumes and veggies and stuff. It's really, like, especially because I wasn't even trying to be vegan. I just wanted to be a pescatarian. So it's, you know, there weren't a lot of problems that couldn't be solved with some baked beans and peanut butter. It's like saying if, you know, if they were worried about my lack of exercise, if the only way for me to get more exercise was to go hunting in the woods and start killing bunnies, I'm gonna go, I mean, it's not exactly like that, that's an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. Surely there's no instant kill mechanics in that fight. I don't think so. I guess I would have found out. She was an older 30 than you are now. What does that mean? Presumably we've had the same amount of 30 years. I probably, like, spent more of them zoned out in front of World of Warcraft. Maybe that's impeding my development. Been vegan for 30 years. I like your name. Don't mind vegan beef, but vegan chicken. Yeah. Plant-based meat alternatives are sometimes fine and sometimes less fine, but you don't really need them. I feel like they're mostly marketed for people that either would prefer to be eating meat but can't do so for health reasons or you know, whatever reason it is, or you know, someone's trying to transition into eating the same style and structure of meals that they're used to. But there's lots of good food. Frying our brains with WoW. Yeah, I feel like I've fried my brain with a wide variety of media, and I'm just now reckoning with with the consequences of that. We don't have kids, just a kitty and good. We're trying to adult. Yeah, I just, I guess she had to grow up a lot faster than me. I had quite a bit of time within which to figure myself to you know, take growing up pretty easy, I guess. I have this feeling that having kids young makes you need to become very responsible very quickly. Hi, Gul'dan. How have you been? I like your tattoos. Any luck? Nope. Okie dokie. We're just gonna pop off the edge here and try it again. Yeah, Jeff, I agree. That is that is pretty messed up. And I mean, yeah. Although I've never been a parent, I'm sure there are some kids where you know, if the only thing they want to eat is like white rice, then you might need to get them to eat something else for their health. Dungeon difficulty, raid difficulty, loot specialization. Oh yeah, we're gonna just walk out of here. That's right. That's what I meant when I said she was an older 30. Yeah, I suppose so. I'm gonna be 31 in the fall. And then I'll only do 8 more of them, and then I'll be 40. What am I gonna do when I'm 40? Probably the same stuff I'm doing when I'm 30. Raid difficulty, heroic. There we go. I can't joke about still being in Nighthold because Gul'dan actually gave up the red one without too much of a fuss. What if the only thing they want to eat was chicken flavored toothpaste? Oh, yes. 9 more? Well, if I'm 31 and then a 31... yeah, I guess that's true. Maybe I'll get better at math. Maybe not. What would I like to be doing if I'm 40? Yeah, no, pretty much the same thing. Pretty much this. It'd be cool if I was better at it and if I just had more experience. One thing that I'm noticing is that even though I've been home for a year, it still is the case that a lot of the times that I go somewhere and do something, it's kind of for the first time, so it's a bit extra stressful figuring out, well, how do I get there and how does it work? And, you know, doing things for the first, second, third time is sometimes causes a bunch of anxiety for me. And then once I've done it, once I've been around the block a few times, then I've kind of added it to my repertoire of things that Hazel knows how to do, and it's fine. But I'm still at the stage here where, like, I don't know, I'm still going a lot of places for the first time. And it'd be nice if by the time I was, like, 40, if I was, like, pretty comfy and I knew kind of, you know, I was, like, a little better at the things that I do. Mostly just getting around, really. I'm just, I don't like driving new places, and everywhere is new when you've never been anywhere. If anything, I get worse at math with age. Got you an extra year. Thanks. Don't think of what I want to do as I like to be a better person inside. New things happen in the world, you have to learn them as well. Why do I think that I can avoid that? Where is this hubris coming from where I think, well, what if new things happen in the world and I can just not? You know, like, what new thing? Assuming that I have my housing needs and my food needs and my social needs met. I mean, I guess if my country goes to, like, war or something. But, you know, for the most part, I feel like I can get away with just kind of, like, going for walks and looking at bugs until I get old and die. Spiritual needs. Oh, I'm good. I'm good there. I'm satisfied on that front at this, on the inside. Better you get in the general process of going to new places. You'd think, though, because, like, I keep moving. I need to stop moving. And I know I've only, you know, it's just like once every year, once every other year, but like it's too many times for me. Every time I figure out a place, I move to a new place and I have to start over. So you'd think I'd be better at like sight reading by now, but I don't like it. I don't like it. tiny kitten bouncing around your house, opening the door, having to talk to the vet about him is one example. How's little Max doing? Hood of the Astral Warden. Yeah, I think I'm spiritually at a point in my life where I'm just kind of feeling, not self-satisfied, but content, I guess. And I have this feeling that I'm probably just going to coast with that, and I'm going to be good with that until some kind of traumatic life event shakes up my psyche. And that's usually when people seem to re-grapple with all of their spiritual questions. So I think for the moment I'm fine, and then I'll revisit that if and when my, boat gets flipped over. We're going to Font of Night it. We think we need to change his name. Turns out the youngest XBF was a Max. We're trialing Dax right now. Yeah, it's the trouble with the common names. Aw. Dax is a cute name too. Chill out, keep doing what you enjoy. I like to think that if I keep I don't want to say keep my dreams small enough, but keep my dreams simple enough and straightforward enough and keep a good enough grip on what I do and do not need from life, that I can hopefully make things a little easier on myself and save myself some grief. But that might just be wishful thinking, especially when the things that I do need are still, really expensive. It's just by virtue of the place that I want to live, or the place that I do live that I would like to stay in. Oh, Kitty, you coming back? You want to hang out with me? Hi. Welcome back. Come sit with me. The lady that lives with you. Okay? You have a snack? You licking your chops? Your breakfast good? Oh, there's Gul'dan. Okay. So I suppose this is on heroic. Yeah, this is heroic. That's right. I wish they made a skip RP button I could click for old raids and dungeons. What if you could just, what if there's a dialogue option that you could use that was just interrupt rudely, and they're in the middle of their monologue and you're like, yeah, I got places to be. Hurry it up. Haven't tooted for a little while. Love the hair. Oh, thanks. I'm scruffy. My mom wears her hair pretty short, and she always has, and I'm just about getting to the length where it's very similar to hers, and I think it's cute that we match. I don't know if she thinks it's cute that we match, but I think it's cute. I guess I could ask her sometime. Okay, here's a transmog, and then we got to do this in normal. Kebab inhaled. Yummy. I'm walking here. Forget about it. Don't worry about it. Splat. It's nice that she spins when she dies. It's very graceful. I got hit by a bee. I was walking down the sidewalk, and there's these big hedges that tend to have a bunch of bees in them. And one of them flew out of the hedge and just bounced off of my cheekbone. This isn't that unusual. Sometimes they just kind of hit you. They don't sting you. They just kind of, fly haphazardly and then fly off somewhere else. But I was kind of surprised, and I hit him with the, hey, I'm walking here. And then I thought about it. I'm like, this bee's not from Boston. Or New York. Or anywhere where anybody actually sounds like that, which is probably nowhere. I hear you. Yeah, I know. They don't sting. I'm sure they would sting you if you upset them enough, but I make it I'm a big fan of the bees, and I try to let them know that I appreciate them by staying out of their way. I try my very best to leave the bees alone. I love it when they're in my garden. I plant all the flowers to make sure they come and also pollinate all my fruits and vegetables and stuff. I've started getting raspberries that I can eat, and they're so good. They're so yummy. I could grow, like, I ate like the first couple raspberries off that plant after the one that the bird rob took me from me, of course. And I was eating them and I was like, I could grow just like a whole row of these if I had room. If I had room on my property, I would give up. I would tear out the lawn and just put rows of raspberries because these are so tasty and delicious that is in fact worth it. That and the fresh peas, although I feel like you want those like on a nice row with some netting. I'm excited to see if the potatoes are yummy because they're certainly doing something, but I won't find out until the fall. BG fan. There's a few different types of bees that you see around here, and they're real big and they're real pretty and fuzzy and fluffy looking. And there's lots of like wildflowers by the sides of roads and stuff that you can see them on. I like them. Love to live in an area where I can grow raspberries. Only imagine the difference in taste. There's something special about it being just like real fresh. I like your armchair cat statue. Lifelike. Hi, Katie. Katie, what if we could sell an accessory that is like an armchair clip-on cat that you can use to feel like you have your little minion when you're gaming? Although I don't know which one of us is the minion. I think I'm your minion. Hi. I'm the one that procures all of your needs. I'm pretty sure I'm the minion. Hi. She's a good boss. Some of them are imposters, some hoverflies mimic bees. Maybe we can put a raspberry in our backyard. Nothing back there, but a little tiny smoke tree. I have a balcony and I have pots. And I love gardening because, especially when it's just yours and no one else gets to tell you what you're doing with it. I like doing anything and then just seeing what works. Like, yes, there are, if you like read up on different plants, you can see these ones like these sort of soil pHs, and these ones like this amount of sunshine. These ones like this sort of climate. There's all kinds of like info about what will help a plant do well. But I find that the best way to find out what's going to do well in a spot is to plant everything and then see what happens. And it's more fun that way. So I have a little bit of a million things in my balcony. And then depending on what I really enjoy having and what does well and what, you know, works out for me, I plant more of that the next year and then less of the stuff that didn't go so well. How is the weed growing? Oh dear. What do I have? I have a rose. I have a little miniature rose plant that actually is growing a pretty large-sized rose that I'm really delighted with. It smells pretty. I like flowers that smell pretty. I'm lucky that I'm not allergic to them. I know some people have sensitivities to floral scents, even if they're from actual flowers. And I am lucky that they just smell pretty to me. What do I have in my arrow garden? I've just started peppers. I've put some pepper seeds in there, some cherry peppers, and then also some just regular jalapenos. I'm gonna see what happens. It's more of a project than it is an actual food production scheme. Except lettuce. What do you mean except lettuce? Lettuce is good everywhere. Lettuce is I think I'm always gonna do lettuce in the summers. It's just so easy. Lettuce, rosemary. I'm lucky rosemary grows. Rosemary grows like a hedge in this climate. It's fantastic. I have a big one. And I got it when it was maybe like this tall and like kind of like a skinny thing. And I put it in the big planter and I decided to just let it get as big as it wanted to. And it's almost as tall as me. It's fantastic. And I can just, you know, snip sprigs of it off and they grow back. And I use them in pizza dough and I use them in herb bread and I use them in potatoes. And I just love rosemary. So I'm always going to do that for sure. Mad scientist approach, break at the lab notebook. I'm also like forever just finding plants, or like I'll walk by different garden stands and I'll just like bring a little pocket of change and then I'll purchase plants from people that are just selling plant starts off the side of the road. And you know, if you're always looking by, they always have different things. So you'd be like, oh hey, this person's selling this herb I've never heard of, or like, oh, cool, there's this kind of pepper, this kind of tomato, or I've never seen this sort of lettuce. And like, you know, when it's just like, it's $2, the $1, $2.50, you know, you've got the change for it. I don't do a lot of shopping in cash, but when I do, I save the change specifically for shopping from garden stands. Mythologic, thank you for the 40-month resub. Been a ride. It's a long time. You know what else I have that's doing real well on my balcony right now is my hosta is flowering. I wasn't even convinced it was going to come back because I never really had one before. And over the winter, it died back to nothing, which I guess is normal for them, but I didn't bother to Google it, so I didn't know. Died back to basically just a lump. And then I was like, what are you... All right, because it was kind of scraggly a little bit the first year that I had it. But then this spring, it decided it was going to come back. It came back all at once. It's huge now, and it's putting on a big old flower, and I'm just so proud of it. I'm keeping it forever. Or at least for as long as it wants to live for me. All right, was that normal? That was normal. No luck there, but we have more characters. We can hop on home. Have I bought plants from Shady Characters Trenchcoat yet? No, but I would. If somebody was like, you wanna buy some cat grass, I'd be like, well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Katie, you're not a big cat grass fan. I tried to grow some for you once. You didn't really care. Not a catnip cat either. She likes bleach. I don't give it to her, but if she finds like washcloths that have been washed in bleach or anything like that, or like if I bleach my towels or my sheets, she is all about it. Hi. Yeah, we can get rid of these. Mine do the stink of clean. Somebody was telling me on stream it has to do with like either an ammonia scent or it's some kind of scent that is similar to something that cats use for communication in some way. Whether it's like territory marking or like a pheromone, I don't know. But it's relevant. It's not just my cat. There are multiple cats that seem to really get activated by the smell of bleach. Don't give your cats bleach, obviously, but all right, so she's going this way. We're gonna do mythic first, rate difficulty mythic. I'm gonna make sure my rarity is on just so that it'll tell me if anything drops for me. Rarity. Yeah, it is on. That's good. What about the anime bleach? She likes that. Kitty, you like anime? She would sometimes sit with me if I was watching like a movie or a TV show, but mostly she would show up in the last 5 minutes of it and then lay down on top of me, and then I'd be like, well, I gotta watch another one. Aliena with a 23-month resub. Hazel, happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Hope things are going well. Grow basil just to have it on hand to smell it. You can grow basil actually inside in hydroponic setups really easily. It takes very well to hydroponic growing. So with people DIY those, or if you have like an appliance for it, basically, I mean, I'm sure you could just grow it under a lamp too, like just dirt water lamp table. Basil with enough light is just happy, and it smells so good. I put it in I started putting basil on sandwiches just like as lettuce. I would do lettuce and basil. I of course put it in like tomato pastas. I would put it in bruschetta. I would put it in I would put it on my homemade pizzas, my Hazel pizzas. I don't have any right now, and it's a shame. Gotta pick up a plant sometime. Movement keys bound to mouse cursor. Sort of. I use WASD. I have A and D being strafe left and right. I will also steer with my right mouse button. And then I have auto run bound to flicking my mouse wheel to the side. So I can toggle auto run on and off really easily. And then just kind of let myself, and then while auto running, steer with my right mouse button. So if I'm going far, have I gone the wrong way? Yep. If I'm going far, then that's typically how I'll do it, is I'll just turn on auto run and I'll just steer a little bit. Because, you know, hurts the fingies to lean on the WASD too much. Baxter, thank you for the 15-month resub. Appreciate it, guys. Basil's a good kitten name. Pronounced with the ah, not the eh. Yeah, Basil. Basil. I know, I love the herb names. Sometimes shelters will have litters of puppies or kittens, and they'll all have themed names. So sometimes it's like Marvel heroes, and sometimes it'll be like, what are some other ones that I've seen? but herbs was one of them. There was like a litter of puppies, I think, and there was like a thyme and a rosemary and a basil and a what else would there have been? I don't think there was like a tarragon. I think there was a sage, and I just thought that was the cutest thing I'd ever seen. Demons. What made me retire the Orb Weaver? I wanted less stuff on my desk. I wanted to be able to play WoW more easily on other setups because at the time, it had happened once or twice that I had been invited to visit Blizzard or to go to BlizzCon and needed to play WoW on a generic computer setup that was supplied by the event. And you're not generally allowed to connect your own peripherals in those situations for security reasons, which meant playing on a keyboard. And when I was used to playing on an Orb Weaver, I was useless on a keyboard. I had one very memorable incident where I was trying to test... I was at Blizzard, and we were testing the Mechagon Mega Dungeon. And I was in a group with other people that they had flown out there to do this, which included people from, like, world first rating guilds. And I'm in a party with them, trying to play, and I'm just clicking my buttons because I cannot really use the keyboard because I wasn't used to it at the time. And the other one was when I was streaming from the stage at BlizzCon. And it occurred to me that maybe I could solve two problems if I switched back to a keyboard. I do find that I preferred movement with the Orb Weaver. I like the joystick, and I don't think, even with all of my workarounds, I don't think WASD is as nice. Especially if you're playing anything where you're going to be doing DPS while moving. Doing DPS while moving and controlling your character accurately is awkward on a keyboard, and it's really nice and comfy on an Orb Weaver. But it was a worthwhile trade-off for me to just have one less thing to worry about. The third factor was there were rumblings that they were discontinuing my Orb Weaver. And I think they actually did, like the model of Orb Weaver that I used. And I didn't want to switch to a Tartarus, and I didn't want to forever be chasing, you know, a device that was going out of production and no longer being supported by drivers, because that had happened to me already when they got rid of the G13, Logitech G13. And I decided that I would have less to worry about if I just went back to a keyboard. You think Blizz would have given you an Orb Weaver? You also need like the profile though that assigns your keybinds to all of it, and that kind of setup is just a bit much for an event like that. Besides, I don't want to be somebody that's it's already enough that I make them feed me veggies. I don't need to have that many extra special requirements. Although it's one of those things that, like, of course, once you've adapted for it, you won't need it anymore. I haven't needed to play WoW in anything but my own setup in years. The last time would have been 2019 when I went to Twitch to go do it was like a scavenger hunt against Bajira. There was like a sponsored streamed event. That was the last time I had to play on a keyboard that was not mine. I think I had already switched back then. I guess I don't really remember. Yeah, I don't remember. It's been a long time. And I've just been all comfy at home ever since, because the plague came, and also because even plague notwithstanding, I don't know how much I want to travel anymore. You know, nowhere in the world that I could go has this cat. This cat is here. So this seems like the best place to be. Okay, hello Elisand. How are you? Long time no see. This is my third of 5 characters. And this is the first difficulty. You think 15 runs a week is enough for the Green Infernal? Or do I want to keep running more characters through and getting the skip? I guess it depends on how many skips can I realistically get through within a 3-hour weekend stream. If I want to spend like 1 day a week farming Nighthold. Because I have more 70s now, I just gotta send them a little bit of gear. I was digging through my bench that I have behind me, the one that the plushies sit on, because I was looking for a cable that I didn't find. And I was seeing all the different bits and pieces that I've used in various, you know, PC and desk configurations in the past. And it really made me appreciate how much we've managed to simplify here. We've got, overall, this thing works pretty good, and I appreciate that, because it's really annoying when your desk is finicky. I used to have relentless issues with my camera connection. I used to have to reboot it constantly, and I am in much better straits now. Pretty much mostly works. I haven't run into a problem that couldn't be fixed with a quick little power cycle on the converter in a long time. I appreciate it. You'd think that streaming would be pretty much something that you figure out and then it works. And most of the time that's true, and sometimes it's just the worst. Font of night. There we go. I got my good luck cat. That's what's doing it. Speaking of good luck cat, Gul'dan, would you like to give me a milk? 3 mining knowledge items for the same node? Holy moly! Hate leaving my kitty home alone. Yeah, I get that. I'm glad your kitty has you, Kelnoff. This one definitely, she's quite... She knows when I'm gone, and she doesn't like it, and she makes that very clear. So I don't like leaving her for longer than I need to. I can go out and, you know, get groceries and do errands and visit people and do day trips just fine. If I'm gone for like 8 hours, she will have something to say about it, but she'll be fine. But I don't like doing overnight trips if I can avoid it, because at a certain point, she'll, even if she has food set up and somebody checking on her, she'll just stop eating. And she's my little bun bun. So it works out. It's nice being a pet person and also a homebody, because I don't feel particularly limited for not traveling much. If anything, it's kind of nice just to stay home and do my home thing. Boogie's good with errands too. When he used to work, he'd get fairly aggressive when I would leave. This one will sit right in front of where the door opens, as though that will prevent me from leaving. And I'll apologize and I'll pet her, and then I'll start to very slowly open the door until like the corner of the door just like barely touches her back, and then she'll be like, fine, if that's what you really want. And then she'll wander off and I'll leave, and I'll have to make that up to her when I get home. It's cute. It's a little sad, but it's pretty cute. Okay, so that was mythic. We need to do heroic and then normal. You shall not pass. But then other times, when I have no intentions of going anywhere, like maybe I'll have just gotten home from a fishing trip or something like that, she will park herself up in that same spot guarding the door, and she'll be like, you're not going anywhere. And I'll be like, you know what, you're right. You've done it. You've accomplished it. I am not going anywhere. And she doesn't have to know that I didn't plan to go anywhere else. Raid difficulty heroic. Reset all instances. There we go. Doesn't that encourage her to keep doing it? I'm not really trying to train her like a dog, though, is the thing. And even with dogs, I feel like, and this is a very personal thing to different people, and you're welcome to raise your pet in any way that you see fit, but I think that I do well when I try to respect their feelings and, you know, make an effort to understand why it is that they're feeling a certain way. And, you know, I've seen cases before where it's been attempted to force an animal to not express anxiety, and all it does is it makes it express somewhere else. Like they can learn, oh man, so-and-so gets angry or ignores me if I make this sound, so I won't do that, but I'm gonna go do something else or have some other expression of it instead. You know, they're still gonna have the feelings, they're just not gonna feel comfortable enough to tell you about it, basically. But that is just my take. I am just one lady with a cat. What do you farm? I farm the Infernal, the green one, the Fellblaze Infernal from Nighthold. We're doing it on 3 difficulties on 5 characters. Can you help me? I clicked on my Winds of Sanctuary buff and I want it back. Dog sat near the car, stared at us, clearly telling us he intended to come with us. Oh. Katie, should I brush you today? I was thinking about, what if I had one chair and I only sit in that chair when I'm brushing the cat and I keep her brush right next to it. If I do that enough times, I betcha she'll figure it out, and then when she wants to be brushed, she'll like go sit in that chair. Oh, brush me. That would be very cute, because right now I keep the brush just on my nightstand, and I do it like whenever it occurs to me, but I bet she would appreciate it being more regularly. She seems to really like it. She used to hate her other brush. She had like one of those metal comb things, and she hates that, but she really likes the soft rubber one. And I bet she would appreciate a little grooming a little bit more often. Plus, you look so pretty when we brush you. You get all sleek and shiny. Pretty cat. Boogie could hear me pick up my hairbrush 3 states away. Had to give him my last brush. I really like grooming animals, actually. Assuming that they're chill with it and that they're not miserable the whole time. I liked in my life when I've owned dogs, I've liked brushing them too. That's been kind of like a satisfying task to have. Font of night. I would brush a big dog. I would brush a big dog outside in a backyard. Short fur, medium short fur. Tabby's fur is so short it's more like velvet. I think I would probably say medium short in that case. It's definitely not velvet length. It's... How long is your hair when one of them falls out? Like maybe an inch? A little under an inch? A couple centimeters? Yeah. She's definitely technically a domestic short hair, though, whenever the vets classify her. Hi. I've never had a long-haired cat before, but I've met some of them out in the world. They're so beautiful. I'm sure it's like so much shedding. You don't get underneath him anymore. He just wants to rub his face all over the brush. How do you deal with the fur? With the dogs in the past, I would do it outdoors. You do it outdoors, and then you brush it off your pants as best as you can. Her fur doesn't come off her quite as badly, so I just kind of do it whenever, and I trust that the vacuum gets it. But I've also made some level of peace with having pet hair on my clothes. I don't really see it anymore. It doesn't bother me wildly. I don't really go anywhere in my life where I'm embarrassed to have some like cat hair in my pants. Also, it doesn't really stick to these ones. Not like the tomato sauce does. But if it's like a double-coated dog, then outdoor grooming only. Sunny day, big yard, park, something like that. Go to the woods, whatever it may be. Groom outside, because that's coming off everywhere. Long hair sheds less than short hair? Oh! Kitty snoozing, sitting out. Kitty, you getting sleepy? You can go back to bed, honey. You can go take a nap, honey bear. Let it go. The cat hair in the garden. Birds will make nests from it. Wonder if a bird would really want to make a nest of cat hair. I think they will sometimes... Certain birds will pick up pet hair if it's like clean and dry and whatever, and use it to help insulate nests. I think that is a real thing. I used to see them take... we had a Malamute when I was a kid, and they would take her fur that had been groomed off of her and left, and carry that away. But yeah, if it gets like all rained on and matted and gross, then I don't think anything's gonna really want it. Boogie is a great coat, so I'll keep it his white hair softer, sticks to everything. I keep a lint roller in a cupboard somewhere, just in case I do feel like I need to be well, presentable. I can, in a pinch, I can lint roll myself off. But hey, you gonna lay down here? You can take a nap. Oh, goodness. That was on Mythic. No luck that time, but we can try a couple more times. That's one thing that's really appealing about the dream of living in your own freehold home, is being able to guarantee that as long as I live there, I will always be able to have, you know, a pet. I've had Kitty for 7-8 years, something in that range. And I can't imagine not having a cat. Rate difficulty, we're gonna bump it down. Rate difficulty, we bump it down to normal. Yeah, bump it down to normal, reset. Because that was heroic that I had just done, I know. Pretty sure. Yeah, because I have heroic gear in my bags. Long-haired Bernese mountain dog. Oh, that's a big fluffy puppy. Hazel, can you tell us an amusing story from your time as a trumpeter? What's an amusing story? I have the terrible feeling where you realized you forgot to bring your trumpet to school on a day that you were going to need it. I got a sick case that also functioned as a backpack that I could use to strap it onto my back so I could bike around with the thing and take it places. I once was so hard up for a place to practice that I found a way to walk to a highway overpass and then kind of like hide behind a railing so people couldn't see me, because I figured that nobody would hear me out there because it was like really far from anybody's houses. Did I do that or did I just think about doing that? I don't remember. I wonder how much property I would need to have to feel confident that if I was practicing a trumpet at home, not that the neighbors couldn't hear me, but that the neighbors wouldn't be, like, irritated by it. You know, sound carries really far, but there's a difference between, oh, hey, I can hear that, and, oh, geez, that's loud, you know? When you're telling stories of being a trumpeter, are you tooting your own horn? Invariably. Hello. Hello, how you doing? We set a sub goal. 2,000 subs on Twitch, and we play, I mean, it would be terrible. I'd have to practice for it. I do have, either in hard copy somewhere, or if not, I might have the digital version, a book of Warcraft songs, like WoW soundtrack songs that are scored out for trumpet that I'm assuming you could play on stream because it's just WoW music. But, yeah, I live in an apartment right now, and I'm not trying to, even with the mute, I'm not trying to throw down. Usual hack of stuffing a shirt. Oh, I had mutes. I had a practice mute, and then I had all like the standard, you know, straight mute and cut mute and whatever. Oh, wow. I liked that one. Vortex Pinnacle Vibes. Thinks about subbing just to hear that. 2,000 would be a dramatic amount of subs. I am currently running somewhere in the range of 800 to 900 subs on Twitch, so that would be a pretty big increase. I've been doing an awful lot of math recently, trying to figure out how much money do I need to earn, like yearly basically, to be able to afford the mortgage I would need to be able to buy my own house by myself. And then how does that translate into YouTube videos slash, you know, streams or whatever, but mostly YouTube, because that's the one thing that I have control over. Is I can't really control how many people sub to me on Twitch, but I can make more, you know, I could make more videos. I can always do that. Up to a point anyways. This way. Ex-husband had a wave canceling mute made by Silent Brass. Yep. Yeah, I think my silent mute was a Yamaha thing, but I had one that had like headphones that you could plug into it, and it would simulate the sound that you would have made unmuted and then like play it back to you. Nothing was sick. That was good. But muted practice is never going to be quite the same as unmuted practice. If you're gonna be a serious musician, you do need to find times and places to practice and play without a mute, because your embouchure and your muscles will adapt to the level of resistance that the mute gives you, and you're gonna be all messed up if that's the only thing that you do. Mind you, if you don't practice at all, that will also make you all messed up, so that's a big fat excuse coming from me. Font of Night. Cash, I'm just gonna say this the one time. I understand what you're saying, and it's true that that is one way that people make money online. But I would appreciate if we did not any further insinuate that I do any form of sex work in order to buy my house. It was a little bit funny once, and from this point on, if we could just never do that again, that would be great. Speaking of subs, it seems like the rate of subs rolling in has increased. We're on kind of a bit of a dip right now because of Diablo, I think. But yeah, today, oh yeah, no, we are up some today and yesterday. I'm trying to, you know, spruce up my stream a teeny bit. I'm trying to start more on time and, well, I don't know what else you can really do, but be hydrated and do your best. Messed me up was getting braces as a teen. Getting straighter teeth destroyed my ability to play clarinet. Yeah, braces and band kids, man. I had them too. I had braces for years. Your scars go away though. Need another one of those gift 2 subs for XYZ amount. That promotion, and I won't give specific numbers, but that promotion was bananas for me. That was the most incredible thing that ever happened to me financially in my entire life. Short of just getting, you know, becoming an influencer or a content creator in general. That thing really, I guess, pressed home how much money Blizzard must make just from selling microtransactions. Because if getting like a fragment of it, like what it would have been like $2.50 per pet sold for just like a tiny fragment of, like, I'm sure the overall ones, because lots of different streamers were getting gifted subs for that. Maybe $5 per. Blizzard must make I mean, I know they have like lots of people to pay and stuff, but like the profit margins on gaming microtransactions must be just wild. Oh, Cupcake Chaos, thank you very much for the gift subs. I appreciate it. B-A-N-A-N-A-S, precisely. Open bite, front teeth didn't touch. Great for a woodwind instrument. Oh, interesting. They do keep the Twitch Prime stuff rolling. Next week, we're gonna get the Swift Shore Strider, which I'm actually kind of excited about because I don't have a Swift Shore Strider yet. Here in Dragonflight launch day, sounded crazy how many subs happened. Yeah, it was a lot. This is always going to be an industry where you're going to have kind of peaks and valleys in your income, and when you're bringing that kind of information to a mortgage broker, they're going to try and look for like, what's your minimum average? Like, what can you expect to not dip beneath? Because there's plenty of industries where you're going to have irregular income like that, and you just have to kind of try to figure out what is the amount that you can count on, and then don't worry so much about what you do on like a lucky month, because you can't guarantee that you're going to have those. You just try your best to save what you can, and I guess in terms of a mortgage, save it for your down payment. Is that a TCG mount? Yeah, it is. It is. Okay, so no mount from that. Was that normal? I believe that was normal, which would make this character finished, and that means we take Crinkle and it's warrior time. Hi, kitty cat. Yeah. Hey, boy. She's getting a bit chattier, I find sometimes. Like, I'll say hi to her, and she talks back more than she used to. She'll meow at me or chirp at me. Yeah, I know you're comfy. I'll leave you alone. Okay. But yeah, Swift Shore Strider. Blue, orange kind of Hawk Strider mount. Pretty. I like those mounts a lot. YouTuber Twitch. They both fluctuate. So sometimes one will be better than the other. For a long time, they were dead even. For the longest time, they were dead even. Twitch has been stronger for me recently than YouTube, but my YouTube has been in a little bit of a maintenance mode, treading water kind of situation, because I just hadn't been really, outside of raid guides and news, I hadn't really been making very many videos. I'd been, I don't want to say depressed, but a little bit non-functional. And YouTube definitely does better when you make videos. So I've been losing subs on the main channel for a bit, and that's fine. It's pretty normal considering what I've been doing, but it would be nice to turn that around. When the D4 promotion went live for a horse with 2 subs, the first solo hardcore player get level 100. They had a level 35 hype train. Holy moly. Any idea why there's a Fell Crystal Scorpion mount? Fell Crystal Scorpion. Yeah, it says trading post. I haven't seen that live yet either, but I guess it must be coming eventually. Result of a Fell Infusion experiment with one of Scorpiron's offerings. That's the boss from the raid I'm doing. What other things are trading post? Just that one? Oh no, the Royal Swarmer. But yeah, this one must be coming because we haven't seen that yet, I don't think. Got a new gaming chair. My back hurts, so my body gets used to it ASAP. Pretty new Scorpion. If you had to choose between that and the flying one, I feel like you guys would be taking the Crystal Scorpion, right? Like the green is just prettier even though it doesn't fly. I don't know, what do you think? Which one do you pick if you have to choose between those two? Like if you only had enough tender to buy one. Yeah, the Yellow Wasp was in the post this month. I just can't afford it yet. It's frozen for me right now. Depending on what they offer in July, I may or may not get it. Scorpo, flying always. Scorpion's too wide. Scorpion for sure. Icky bugs. Yeah, it's true. One with the wings. I don't like the bug thing. You guys are the best. Hoping for a bad trading post next month. Green is my second favorite color after black. Oh. Crinkle is now my worst geared 70. Well, no, actually that's not true. I've got worse geared 70s, but she's one of my worst geared 70s. I sent her some amount of Primalist gear, but I haven't really done much with her. Raid difficulty, we'll do Mythic first. I have the Rathion bug that I ground out. Don't need a yellow version. If we're lucky, the Scorpion will be from finishing the bar. Post just won't have a mount. When we look up Squawks, or Quawks rather. Yeah, Quawks is also flagged as trading post, even though he was bar and not vendor. So yeah, that could be it. This is still such a pretty parrot. Okay, maybe Gul'dan will have something for me. Wasp has a tendril nose, can't unsee. That's how it gets its smells. Did I do? Yeah, I did do. I was gonna say, speaking of smellies, have I done my Niffin rep for the week? I'm pretty sure I have. I need, next week. Next week I'll get renown 20 with the Niffin. I can be, Smelly's Elixir. Is black a color or is it a lack of color? I put that argument in the same category as tomatoes, fruit versus vegetable. In being academically interesting and generally the territory of pedantics when arguing for the sake of arguing. If someone tells me black is their favorite color, I'm gonna go, that's cool. It's a good one. Nightspire. There we go. Transmogging for the color black because every shade they've made doesn't match a certain piece they've made in the past. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it can be difficult to get good tone matches with stuff like that. Solution? Be a Shadow Priest. Turn on Shadow Form. Now everything's purple. Finding good mod for S-Priest is a fun challenge. I would say a black shirt has no color. Yeah. It's one of those things where there is a technically correct answer, and then there's the answer that doesn't make you not fun at parties. To use a double negative. You know, the parties where people debate tomatoes. I like cherry tomatoes that I'm growing some. They're this big right now and they're green, 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 but they're gonna be tomatoes and I'm gonna eat them. That's my whole plan. I grow cherry tomatoes, and I always think, oh, I could use these to make something. And sometimes I will slice them up into little discs and put them on sandwiches, but for the most part, I just eat them like candy. I don't have a better plan. They're just delicious, though. Tomato parties in Spain? I would have a tomato party. If I grew like bushels of tomatoes, I would have people over and they could help me make and can pasta sauce and salsa. Sprinkle sea salt on them. Do you season them? Well, not while they're on the plant. Maybe later. Little salt, little basil, little olive oil. Grocer keeps trying to replace cherry tomatoes with grape tomatoes, which are bad. I think the reason that cherries are my favorite to grow is just because I have no patience. And they're ready fast because they're small. They don't have to grow real big. Oh, I'm gonna leave the kettle on. She's sleeping. My instinct is to pet her. I'm gonna leave her be. She's snoozing right now. She's nice and warm. My grandmother used to make up a snack plate that was like sliced fruit and then potato chips. And the idea was that the saltiness would complement the sweetness of the fruit and it would just be the best thing ever. And she was correct. You know, you throw a little bit of cheese in that plate and then you're having a snack. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I like doing with cherry tomatoes actually, is I will sear them in a hot pan just until they kind of start to wilt. Sometimes I'll puncture them a little bit so they don't explode. But sear them until they get like a little char on them and like a little bit of, you know, a little bit of a wilt to them, and then, you know, serve them with like pasta or like a salad or whatever. I guess not like a fresh salad, but you know what I mean. They're delicious. This way. Bit of chocolate along with my chips, so yeah. Exploding is the best part. I don't know when the last time that I really exploded something was. I've been pretty well trained to puncture anything that has a seal that you're gonna heat. So like tomatoes, potatoes, you know, you're pricking your pasta, that kind of thing. I need to bake some potatoes. I haven't had a baked potato in a really long time, and it's mostly because I don't like them that much, but I just, you know, I'm the master of my own kitchen. I should keep at it. I should try again, especially because at some point in the fall, I'm hopefully going to have a crop of potatoes that I grew, and I'm going to need to figure out how I would like to cook them. I don't even remember what kind of potatoes I planted. I don't think they're russet potatoes. I don't remember. They might be golden ones. They might be golden nuggets. I'll find out when I pull them up. I was kind of bored yesterday because I was trying my best to just focus and be productive, and I can do it for like a little while, and then I'm like, I'm bored. I gotta get up and do something. And I just need to get back into baking bread. That'll give you some good gaps to sit down in between, and then something to get up and poke around with. Although I don't know how you're supposed to focus on anything if you can smell bread baking in the oven. Seems hard. Hi, Illidan. How you doing? You like Crinkle's transmog? She's got the Veldraken shirt. She's got some gnome heritage goggles. I don't know what's happened to her shoulders. She's got one sword in each color. Yoink. Nope. Well, we got more difficulties. What time is it? 10:30. Not so bad. Yeah, because it's just 2 more in this character and then 3 on my hunter. I really don't remember if my hunter finished the skip or not. I think so, but Maybe not. We'll have to see. I also like the little dragon wings back transmog I have on here. I wonder what it would take for me to actually gear her up and play her a little bit in like ending of Dragonflight stuff. I did a little Fury Warrior dungeons in Shadowlands, I think. Maybe the last patch of Shadowlands? I'm just allergic to melee. I just want to make Shadow Priests all day. I just want to make more priests. I'm leveling an undead priest off stream, and it's so much fun at low levels. I just got the talent where my Shadow Crush can apply all of my dots, and I'm very excited about it. Priests and hunters and priests and hunters and a druid and then a priest and a hunter and a priest and a hunter. I'm gonna have like my character list all filled up, and I'm still not gonna have a paladin or a death knight. I'm gonna have the one warrior. I'm gonna have no monks. Just like, it's just the melee classes. It's any class that has a ranged spec I can usually deal with, and then rogue got a pass because rogues can open lockboxes. But really, you getting up? It's just the melee classes that are just not. I mean, it's not. There's nothing wrong with them. I'm sure they're fun. I just, you know, given the opportunity, would rather play a ranged. Unholy DK is like the one melee spec I can do. Yeah, the shadowy apparitions. You can make so many of them, and it's more fun being able to kind of make them on demand. I remember raiding Shadow Priest when shadowy apparitions would just happen on dot crits. So you would get as much crit rate as you could, and you would dot as many things as you could. There was one fight in particular in Blackrock Foundry where that was like the spec, and you would just be pouring them out, heading in all directions. But now, because they spawn on specific spellcasts, it's your Mind Blast and then something else, I forget, maybe Devouring Plague. And because of that, you know, you set up all your dots, and then you just go, and then they like head in all directions, and it's like, I did that. I haven't started a mage. I think I'm going to try to do one mage during this event. I don't know what race. I think I'm going to do a frost mage. I don't know what race of frost mage yet. But I need to get my 60s to 70 first. I'll do a little bit more leveling tomorrow. I just have that hunter that's at 64. And then the two healers can wait until Time Walking comes back to get finished off. Mages are fun but so squishy. Builds to do Holy Shotgun anymore. I don't know. Dwarf? Dwarf mage? I'm going to have to really have a heart-to-heart with the character creation screen. I'm going to have have a real good look at it, because it could be anything. So I could, you know, also cover like one of my heritage armor needs. Can make a goblin mage, blood elf mage, I mean, as far as I know, pandas don't have heritage armor yet, but they'll get it eventually, right? You would think. Arcane is my main. Interesting to watch someone who is good try at mage for me to watch. I would not expect any skill from me. Not in any class that I'm new at anyways. I usually just kind of grab the wowhead build. If that, sometimes when I'm leveling, I just make it up. Press button, see what happens. Yeah, Shadow Priests are fun. Priests are not the most efficient class to level. And they're not really the class that you want to have for doing a bunch of mount runs, because they're just they don't run that fast. They are low on the mobility ladder. But I like making them, and anybody can be a priest. I like having lots of them. We're going Fontenite, that's right. Able to do world things easier on mage than druid, other than the ability to prowl. That's why you need a monk. Why do I need a monk? For what? Monks do melee. I mean, there's Mistweaver, but generally speaking, monks do melee. Panda mage eats, shoots, and leaves. Pandas and Worgen and Tauren. I don't know. I want somebody... I like... Would I do an undead? Troll? An Andalari troll? The main reason I wouldn't do a Nightborn is because I've just done one of those. I could maybe do like a Void Elf. Male Void Elf Mage. Male Blood Elf Mage? What am I forgetting? Volpera? White elves are pretty. Yeah, and I don't have one right now. Tauren? That's true, I don't have a Tauren. I have a High Mountain Tauren. I'm missing a regular Tauren. What if I make a regular Tauren monk? Tentacle hair. With Frost Mage in mind specifically. There's also Gnome, but I have a good chunk of Gnomes. I have a fair selection of Gnomes already. I think I would want to do a race that I don't have yet. I don't have a Mecha Gnome right now, but I had a Mecha Gnome Mage before. I may, like, if I'm gonna do that one, I may as well just restore my old Mecha Gnome Mage. And I would want to do something different, I think. Tauren Mage named Moonini. I forget what it was, but I saw some Tauren Mage with the funniest name, or I like heard about one. Maybe Flabby told me about it. Dwarf? Yeah, I don't have a dwarf right now. I used to do dwarf monks. Dwarf paladin. Dwarf rogue. Sneaky dwarf. I actually really like the female dwarf model. I think it's awesome. They look really nice. I do have the Mecha Gnome heritage armor. Looks like a genuine clockwork gnome, yeah. Archaeologist is a dwarf mage. Any luck? Nope. Okie dokie. Not from that time, but we can go do it on normal. Surprised my mage isn't chonky with how much mage bread they eat between encounters. I was looking at I was looking at the Conjure Refreshments table, and I was like, oh, they can make cinnamon buns, they make strudel. Just out of thin air? Not fair. That's my mage roleplay, is just the mage that became a mage because they wanted to learn how to have infinite and unlimited access to pastry. Reset in 3 difficulty normal. There we go. Just the green one can drop on normal and heroic as well as mythic. The red one is mythic only. But I have the red one, so I'm trying to farm the green Fernal. Dedicated archaeology too. All she does is travel to dig sense. And I think that's got me thinking about making a mage. Does summon food turn into fat, or does it dissipate back into mana in your system? I feel like my mage would get very little exercise because my mage would rely far too much on their powers to get them from place to place as opposed to just using their muscles. And then they would buy like a Peloton or something to try to rectify that problem, and then they would dry their laundry on it. When all they really needed to do was take the stairs. Why take the stairs when you can just teleport right to the top floor? Do I need a human female mage? I used to have one. That was a bank haul for a long time. Humans look nice in cloth. They wear cloth robes really well. I'm gonna take a short break while Ellison does her speech. one of my favorite things about having my office set up in like kind of a bedroom is that it has a closet, which means I have a place I can hang my extra sweaters that I want to have nearby when I'm at my desk, which means that I can just like make a nest whenever I want to get super comfy when I'm playing WoW. Prefers a dedicated tune for given things. What's your chef tune? Chef is also the primary fisher. What kind of character is that? Like, what's the race and class? What I should do is I should pick up a fondness for warriors just because they're great for farming stuff. Plus, you need somebody that can learn plate transmog. I feel like Crinkle's got it covered though. Chef Tune is a panda mage. Alright, Font of Night. There we go. Nice. This is normal, so this is the last one that the warrior can do, but then I have a hunter who can do this another 3 times. My character's all exercise with the Suzanne Summers thigh bastard. Oh man. Mage gets portals. Yeah, I don't have a panda at all. What's the best, I mean, aside, I guess there's monk. I was gonna ask, what do you guys think the best class for a panda alt is? Which one fits the best? Rogue! I mean, there's monks. Why do I feel like panda monks look kind of silly? I know that they're like the original monk. Yeah. Death Knight, Oh, that's true, I do have a panda Death Knight, that's right. Love Shaman Panda. Panda Rogue because you get double stacking reduced fall damage. What are you farming today? I am visiting Gul'dan here for the green Infernal Mount. So we're doing it on 3 difficulties per character. I'm trying to get the Fellblaze Infernal to drop. I don't know exactly how many attempts I have right now. Actually, I should have probably made sure I had rarity on. Oh yeah, I do. I'm a panda rogue enjoyer. Shadow plant vibes. Shaman seems like a good fit. Practically need the fall damage. Yeah. They're so bouncy. I like the panda racials, actually. Once in a blue moon, I'll be in solo shuffle, and I'll get hit with Quaking Palm. And every time I'm like, excuse me? You just did what now? You're a panda? And then, yeah, I'm a panda, and you just lost. I feel like the vibe for my mage has to be either a male void elf or a blood elf. And then the energy is just arrogance, you know? You come up with a name that's like this the RP for the character is insufferable academic. Any luck? Nope. Okie dokie. This character's going home. What kind of name do I have? All my names are cute. I have like, the names that I have are reserved still are like Shellfish, Squidgy, Primrosy. Helps fit the bill without even trying. Oh no, I need some of that. Give me my Starless stuff back. I got carried away. I vendored too many things. There we go. Alright. So that's 4 characters done. Time for this one. I'm not going to do it right now. I just want to look at the options. If I was going to make a Void Elf Mage, what does he look like? Oh yeah, you can do like the these skin tones too. I could make him blonde. Oh, I could give him pink hair. We gotta lose the mustache. Where's the facial hair? Oh, man. I never know what to do with beards. I feel like my instinct is to not do a beard, but then they always look funny without it. You know? That's not it. That's not right. I don't know. We'll mess with it later. He looks like a Devrin. They look like they were in an emo band in their youth. Yeah. Like my Havoc made too much. Male Blood Elves look like they wouldn't give you time of day. Mm-hmm. Hazel, did you have a crush on Fabio? I don't mean to be disrespectful, but how old do you think I am? Did I have a crush on Fabio? I appreciated Fabio's hair, actually. I wouldn't say Fabio specifically, but Fabio-style characters with like the long flowing hair were very appealing to me as a young person. Male 2s are so hard to make look cool. Yeah. Yeah, it was all about the long flowing hair. Big Legolas fan as a 12-year-old. Galterians have the best mustaches. Oh, appreciate Fabio's meme levels. Who is Fabio? Fabio is a character in romance novels. Let me see if I can find any more information. Fabio. Also, apparently an Italian-American actor. Oh, who maybe inspired the character? Hang on. I know this is a romance novel character. Known for being on the cover. Oh, I see. So he was a cover model. Embodiment of the male hero. I gotcha. Yeah, so he was a male model, I guess. I was misunderstanding. I thought the actual character was named Fabio. You know Elliot from Stardew Valley? That's Fabio. Elliot would be really... Elliot was actually really sweet. He was just too, floral. He was too much of an author that couldn't put it down. All I think of is Mega Amphoros. Actor was the dude half naked on the cover of all the pulpy novels. You think he got paid pretty well for that? I wonder, I have to imagine that especially if they were like low budget pulpy novels, they probably didn't spend too much money on it, you know? Went for Shane, I can fix him. No! I know a lot of people did that. I do not have that gene in my body. Everything about Shane made me want to run away and never go near his house. I did not get that vibe from him. Apparently they sold like hotcakes. Man. I thought Harvey was nice. Harvey and Leah are like my two. My most recent Stardew Valley save, I married Leah, and she's nice. She's relaxed. And then I liked Harvey because he had a job. Yeah, of the bachelors, he had the most traditional grown-up job. Sebastian had work, but it was remote work, and he was still living in his mom's basement. Actor ended up doing commercials because he wasn't paid fairly for the novel covers. Yeah, that sounds right. Right difficulty mythic. I do not know if I did my skip, if I finished it. Oh no, I need to actually full clear this a few times. All right, we're in for a bit of a run here. I will get out a cunning pet so that I get some extra movement speed because I'm gonna have to full clear this. I am only halfway finished my skip on this character. Befriend Shane for the blue chickens and never speak to him again. I always capped out friendship with everybody. That was any Stardew Valley save I did. That was always one of my goals, even if I didn't like a character. Like Alex was never really my cup of tea. But I would still, you know, bring him some mayo or something. I would give Alex an egg because I discovered that he liked eggs. And he'd be like, hey, this is pretty cool. And I'd be like, you're welcome. There's your egg. And then that would be I would be started with him for the week. I basically never bothered to make his salmon dinners or whatever. Do you like my sheep? This is my cunning pet that I have handy just for running around. He's an Argali sheep. His name is Hampshire. I like to think he's really fluffy and that my hunter shampoos him on weekends so that he smells nice. Blueberry loner farmer? Blueberry. Oh, yeah. You can grow blueberries. Did you ever do one of those, any of you guys ever in Stardew do one of those, like, themed playthroughs? Where you, like, open a pizza shop and you only grow crops that are related to the production of pizzas, and then you only sell pizzas? Like, you grow, you know, you grind your own wheat and you grow your tomatoes and you make your cheese and then you make the pizzas and all of your profit has to come from selling pizzas. I thought that was a cute idea. I never did it, but it sounded fun. I always tell myself I'm going to do something different with a Stardew Valley playthrough, and then I end up doing things exactly the same. I just play the same game the same way every single time, and I get about 60 hours of it out of it every single time. Can't complain. It's a good life. I'm a little bit too pleased that my nails match my water bottle. You like that? Hang on, you can't see it. Yeah, there you go, a little bit. That makes me real happy. I feel like my fingers should get extra little magnet powers whenever I pick it up just because they're finding their way home. Can't get into Stardew Valley? Think it might be the graphics? That put me off of it for years because people would suggest that I played it and I would be like, oh, I don't know, it's like pixel art. I'm not really that nostalgic for retro games. I usually like games that have more graphics to them, and then people would recommend like My Time at Portia, or I don't know. There's other games that are kind of in that same genre with better graphics. I guess there's Dreamlight Valley now too, although I never played it. But when I finally did, and I don't remember what made me get Stardew, I think it was that I wanted to play a game on the Switch. And I was browsing the store for games to play on the Switch. And I saw Stardew Valley there, and it's like, oh, I've heard of this. Yeah, okay, I was just like bored and I wanted to get a game that was going to be for me to have on the Switch, so I bought it on Switch first. And then I couldn't stop playing it. Like, especially when I'm in the thick of a Stardew Valley playthrough, I cannot put it down. I have no self-control over it. The just one more day syndrome gets me very hard. The Chronos Illusion was on the BMA the other day, and I meant to go bid on it, and I completely forgot. And now I'm wishing I had. I wonder what it got up to, or if anybody actually bid on it. I feel like people don't check the BMA as much anymore since they started giving away all the TCG stuff for Twitch rewards. Because, you know, like, why would you spend a bunch of gold to get a TCG toy or a pet or a mount or whatever if they're just going to give it away for free? Which makes sense, but there is other stuff that sometimes shows up on the BMA. I probably should have bid on that. Willed flowers like that too. GF was playing Ooblets, basically Stardew meets Pokemon with card battles. She could do that, then I can do Stardew. Now I like it. Always forget about the BMA. It's in a weird place in Valdrakken. It's kind of easy to not ever come across. It's like on the low level underneath where like the pet sanctuary is. Twitch, there's not a Twitch drop currently. There is, I'm pretty sure you can still get the purple shirt for Twitch Prime, and then in a week or so they're going to start giving away the Twitch. They're going to start giving away the Shore Strider mount for Twitch Prime. So not a drop, but a Prime gaming rupee. I don't know why that was so hard to say. Tripping over all my words. I think that my Hunter and my Priest are pretty much... Oh, hey, I finished my tier set. I think my Hunter and my Priest are pretty much done. They're both kind of like item level 422, 423. They're about as good as they're going to get unless I decide to start pushing them into higher keys, which I don't think I really want to do. I feel like I enjoyed the little project. I liked clearing normal Abras in both of them. Yeah, they might be done for the moment. More chance to level more else. And then once 10.15 comes out, I think I'm going to be... You know what I might end up doing is I might end up using a bunch of alts to farm time rifts and to do time rifts every week so that I can buy all of these cosmetics, because there's a bajillion cosmetics from time rifts, and I think it's going to be a lot more reasonable to farm all of it if you're using multiple characters. If it turns out that it really is a weekly lockout and getting your bits and pieces, I might just take like a bunch of characters and go do that. And as luck will have it, I'm gonna have a bunch of characters leveled up because of the XP buff. And I started playing Stardew. I only had Stardew related dreams for 2 weeks straight. Was so invested in it. I like the comfort of knowing that Stardew, as like a finished product, will always be there for me. You know, like, assuming that it continues to run on devices for a long time, which I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. That, you know, at any point in my life, if I really need a break from life, I can always start a Stardew save file and then have, you know, spend some time on a happy little farm. Quick catch up for Veldraken Accord Renown. I mean, there's all the normal stuff. There's the get a contract, do all the world quests. Veldraken Accord is notoriously annoying to grind because the items that drop that you turn in don't really drop very much. So what you could maybe do, I feel like there's a way to abuse alts to get account-bound rep tokens that you could send to your main. I'm not 100% on that though. Thoughts on the store and WoW, how it relates to the trading post. Thoughts on the store. And how it relates to the trading post. I talked about, I broke down my thoughts on that in the news video that came out. Not this most recent one, but the one before that. It basically comes down to, you know, company gonna make microtransactions, and then I don't love it, but I don't feel pressured to buy them, so I'm probably just gonna not buy them. I guess I have in the past bought like cash shop mounts and the occasional cash shop pet, but in recent years, instead of adding cash shop mounts, what they've done is they've added these 6-month sub mounts that are also separately available in the cash shop, and I'm just on a like 6 month, 12 month, whatever. I'm on an infinite WoW sub because I never unsub from the game. So I've just been getting kind of all of the mounts complimentary anyway, so I haven't really needed to do any cash shop stuff in a long time. Yeah, true. No mounts. We are on an alt that doesn't have the skip. She is halfway to the skip, so this will be our 3rd clear. So we do full clear this week, full clear next week, and then I'll have 5 characters with the skip. But yeah, no mount. No mount just yet. I want to make sure that I have, yeah, rarities turned on. Good, good, good. Discovered a downside to sitting at the keyboard, eating honey out of the jar. Oh yeah? What could it possibly be? Do you think a fresh 70 will be able to do time rifts? I betcha, because I betcha there's going to be groups. I am anticipating, and I could be wrong, but I'm anticipating that it's going to work out a lot like Researchers Under Fire, where you can just kind of join a raid group whenever it's up and then do it with a big batch of people. Because from what I saw in testing, like Researchers Under Fire, you're going to get a better reward from time rifts if you're in an instance that has people get more objectives done, and it's kind of like a group sort of thing. So I'm guessing it's just going to be a get into a group, find a group, and they're not going to be too picky about item level. Invest in scouting maps? Would I need the Cataclysm ones? I mean, I like having all of them because you buy it once and then it's on your account forever, and then you never have to worry about whether or not you're going to need it. If you have the gold for it, mind you. Am I the weird one? I don't think you're necessarily the weird one. Eating honey out of the jar is a very Winnie the Pooh kind of a visual, and I just kind of enjoy the aesthetic. You're also on those 70s, if you have like a little bit of gold, it looks like, and maybe they'll change this before the patch actually goes live, but on the PTR, there was a vendor by the Time Rift area that just sold 402 blue gear for gold. Just like a couple hundred gold per piece, like 150 gold a piece. blue 402 gear for gold. And that would help those alts out substantially. Let's go do Tichondrius. But yeah, there's a lot of cosmetic pirates. Aw, Sugetsu, thanks for the raid. Welcome, raiders. Yeah, I used some of the Cataclysm flight points when I was flying characters around to do bonfires. Not necessarily because I needed the flight point to get there, like I could have just flown there, but because I was multitasking, I was like writing up something else while also flying the character around between things, so having the flight pass was kind of nice to be just like, yeah, take me to Mount Hyjal, get me up that hill, I'll be back in a minute, that kind of thing. Hi Hazel, love your content, thank you. Yeah, I'm fluffy now. I had like a horn on my hair this morning. I had a big spike. There was one that just wanted to stick straight up. Yeah, no, the Stormwind portals or the Orgrimmar portals do, I think, work without needing to be unlocked these days. Like once you hit an appropriate level for them, it's just that you might not be in the city. You might be in Winter Spring, and then you want to get up the hill to Hyjal because it's like right there, and you just can't be bothered to, you know, fly there. That's just me though. Okay. Tichondrius, nice and easy. Yeah, full clearing this doesn't take so crazy long now. Maybe a little while. I have 98 of 145 things that could drop on Mythic. But that's like including all armor types and classes. Yeah, my collection rate for the other difficulties is much lower. Because I guess I don't need to full clear it on normal and heroic to unlock the skip. Because once I get the skip on Mythic, I can just skip it on Mythic. Faster if you don't get lost. I'm noticing that. Funny how that happens, isn't it? Oh, you know what? I'm not spec'd into my I'm not spec'd into my speed spec. I've got a spec that takes a couple of speed talents that makes me way faster. Oops. Whoopsie-daisy. I mean, I guess I will full run this on normal and heroic as well because I don't have the skip just yet. Yeah, completely forgot. I have a spec that's set up just to get 2 Trailblazer and then 2 Pathfinding, and then you also get yourself a Cunning Pet, and then you're in business. Making a speed set's the next step. I used to have a speed set for my druid. I made a video about it back in the day, and by the day I mean like a year ago-ish. But they nerfed it, and I would have to do something different, I think. I forget. This'll be okay. Speed set druid was so fun for, when I had it, it was so fun for just like running old dungeons to get Mog to sell. I had a couple of weeks where I was just flying through old dungeons, just picking up all kinds of garbage that I didn't even really, I sold some of it. I think I made some amount of gold, but I definitely had a lot more energy for running the instances than I did for actually posting all the transmog. I am famously a little impatient when it comes to that. Oh yeah, I didn't even think of using an amulet for speed set. I think I'm too lazy about carrying extra stuff around. That was always my downfall with whenever I would put together like a time walking scaling set, is I would just end up vendoring it because I just didn't want to have extra gear in my bank or my bags. It would be good for like a patch when I had like the equipment saved properly and everything in my equipment journal. But inevitably I would like lose pieces, or like something would get nerfed, or I would just delete something by accident and then be like, ah, well, never mind. Can't, you know, that's a whole extra gear set that I have to not vendor whenever I'm vendoring stuff. But yeah, especially if it's like one character that you have that you use for a lot of farming, super worth to have because you can just fly through stuff. You can get crazy movement speed bonuses. Yeah. Yes. Meow. I've seen Elo-san just once or twice today. Just a little bit here and there. You like my butterfly? Good luck. Thanks. He'll have to give it up eventually. One of these days. After we're done with Nighthold, I'm gonna use these characters to do Tomb of Sargeras. That's my next project after this one, is to get the Abyss Worm out of Mistress Sassing, because I'm still missing that. Or, actually, you know what? After Nighthold, I think the next project should maybe be use these characters to try to get the Characta mount out of Characta while the expansion is still current. That might be good. I have the Red Infernal already. That dropped like a week and a bit ago. I'm still looking for the green one. If they added a feature, for example for time walking, made 10 bag slots invisible, unless it's time walking week you're in a dungeon. You could put your gear there, would use it with, live with 10 slots less, but you don't see the clutter. Is the follow-up to this that exists as an add-on? Because I feel like that's something that you could do with an add-on. Maybe. Yeah. Have like a little time walking pocket of like gear that I specifically set up for a specific thing. It's just because I have a tendency to accidentally vendor stuff. I just overzealously vendor stuff when I'm clearing up my bags. So whenever I'm carrying around a gear set, I'm always in danger of accidentally getting rid of stuff. I have to be real careful. Like whenever I have multiple trinkets that I'll switch out for like single target versus AoE or healing versus DPS, I have to be cautious that I don't just sell them because I've been known to do that and then I have to restore them. Just an idea. It might exist, but wouldn't know if it does. It sounds niche enough that it probably doesn't exist, but it sounds possible. Like that you could just designate specific bag slots and then hide them except for in XYZ situation. It almost sounds like WeakWar territory, although I don't think WeakWars can mess with your bags. I don't know. Add-on that will put the set into its own category? Missed the red drop. Can you farm it again? I can link you a YouTube video where you can see it drop. You can pretend that it's live. It's me, but with my hair 1 week shorter. Okey-dokey. WeakWars or literal magic can do anything. Have its own row. Did you get the mount? Not this time. Why not? I know, right? It's a good question for Gul'dan. I like. Thank you for the 4-month resub. Have a bag that you never vendor from? Yeah, that is sense. that is a smart idea. Had an add-on when hovering over an item tell you what it's used tied to quest-wise? All the things will sometimes tell you, hey, you need this to buy a thing that you need off a vendor. I don't know if it'll tell you if it's for a quest. How many characters do I have? I don't know. 8? I mean, I'm assuming we're talking 70s because sub 70s come and go like popcorn. How many do I have at 8? I think I have like 8 characters at level 70 now. That sounds about right. Unlucky. 50-50 to get the mail. Yeah, we either get it or we don't. I forgot what I was gonna say. I watered all my plants yesterday. Not all of them, but I went and did the tour. I discovered that my spear snake plant is putting on some new spears. I found some little baby ones that are just about to poke up, so that's exciting. I bought that one and it didn't have a price tag on it. And I didn't have a price tag on it, and it was sat in an area with like some cheaper plants, and I'm like, there's no way this thing is $5. These are usually like $20. But then I bought it anyways, and it turned out it was in fact $20 and I just bought it. So I'm counting on it to do well and look nice, because that's more than I usually spend on plants. I'm usually kind of a $5 or less on a houseplant kind of person. I just buy them really small, and then if I can grow them big, then that's nice. Tuskar tackle boxes. Turns out they aren't bad for gold. Oh yeah. Yeah. That checks out. Especially, they're also not a bad source of coins. The copper, silver, gold coins. I've gotten them from them. I have gotten those from those before. Am I getting tired? I think I'm just really comfy. I'm like oozing into my chair. What if my future office / streaming room was a basement and I had a really big aquarium there? I guess the humidity might not be so good for the computer. It'd be so cool though. Your pets may have died. Hampshire, come back. Here we go. Bunch of nice basement spiders. Well, you need the spiders to keep out the other buggies. And then some big mushrooms and a life-size... What is a life-size lava lamp? Lava lamps aren't alive. A human-sized lava lamp. And a neon sign that says, "My tools, my rules." I saw an apron that said that on Etsy or something, like, years ago, and I've never... Oh, I got the illusion! Oh, it's a good thing I didn't bid on that on the B-Mall recently. It does exist. Oh. That's rare. Holy. I'm pleased with myself. That's why we full clear this place. Nice. I mean, I was only full clearing it because I need the skip still, but yeah, buddy. What does it look like? Appearances. Weapon enchantments. Search is not available for this category. Well, of course not. Cronus. That's what it looks like. Huh. Well, I'll take it. I don't know if anybody would see you out, you know, on the streets of Orgrimmar and be like, is that a Chronos enchant? Unless they knew exactly what they were looking for, but still. Let's see if Kate, can you farm that again? Our ranged weapons aren't allowed in illusions. Yeah, bows look so cool though. I guess I don't really use guns much, but bows look awesome. They're such beautiful bow models. I usually use staves. I usually play casters and use staves. I can't believe I got the Chrono solution. That's so weird. I was just thinking about it because it was on the black market auction house. It's Nighthold. It's Nighthold. We're doing this on 3 difficulties on a bunch of characters to see if I can get Gul'dan to give me the green infernal is the dream here. I'm getting lots of transmogs though. Typo Monkey, thank you for the 2-month resub. Mog is Mog. More is more. Crazy luck to get both the illusion and the amount this run. It would be. Stranger things have happened. It's possible. This could be the one. Should I run this in all armor types to ensure Mog drops? Why not? Marmo, thank you for the 49 month resub. Boop beep. Resub alert. 49. That's when once we get past 36, I stop dividing by 12 because the math gets out of my standard range. I guess 48 is after 36. Holy moly. It's almost 50 months. How would you level alts with the XP buff right now? My DPS alts that are between 60 and 70, I've been doing a combo of Dragonflight questing, world questing, profession crafting, and gathering. My other characters I just basically quested to do dungeons on, and then when time walking starts up again, what is it, next week? That's going to be good for characters that are between 60 and 70. But I just kind of quest the same way that I always do. I take characters through low-level classic zones, like the Kata versions. So I'm leveling an Undead. I leveled her through Tears Fall Glades. I'm leveling her through Silverpine. I'm probably going to do Hillsbrad after that. And then like with a couple of dungeons mixed in. Only a Clothy and a Plate Warrior at 70. That's why. Which races would you do, or classes would you do for Leather and Mail? I feel like Druid and Hunter are the two good ones for being, nice for doing Mog runs. They're both pretty fast. They can wear those armor types. Rogue's also a decent leather wearer, but Druids are just kind of fun. I do have a TLPD. I do. TomTom profile. I just kind of used, there might be. I used Handy Notes, and then I've also in the past used Candy Buckets to just kind of mark them on the map. Squishy Druid, Squishy Evoker. Oh yeah, Evoker. I forget. I made an Evoker, and I always forget that they wear mail. But, it's okay if you're squishy when you're doing just like Legion raids. Things don't hurt very bad. Got a cloak transmog. Rogue's good for Mog runs, more weapon types. I was horrifically lost in Nighthold for the first, 20 runs that I did. Eventually, I kind of got comfy with it, and I found my favorite route to do everything, but it definitely took coming through it a few times before I stopped backtracking. More than needed, anyway. I usually like to do... Oh, did I not do Botanist yet? No, I forgot to do Botanist. Whoops! Speaking of backtracking, I usually do Astromancer and then Botanist, and then I go the other way and I do Techondrius, and then I go all the way to the end to the Necrosis, and then I pop up to the top and do Elisand. And I guess I do Aluriel when I first get to the courtyard. Was it a hotfix or was it a 10.1.5 note where they were going to make the BOEs from this raid drop more often? I know I read something about that, but I don't remember if it was a hotfix or if it was a 10.1.5 thing. My main currently is my Evoker. My Preservation Evoker is my main character. That's who I take to raid nights. That's who I do professions on right now, and that's what I leveled first when Dragonflight came out. In previous expansions, it was a priest. 10.1.5, not a hotfix. Okay. Well, I won't try too hard to clear all this trash yet then. Plan to do augmentation? Nah, I got somebody else to fall on that one for me. I'm a healer. I want to heal. Augmentation is closer to being a damage spec than it is to being a healing spec. So I'm happy to let the other evoker in my guild do that. It seems like a cool concept, but I'm pretty happy to let someone else play it. I do not have the Evoker Legendary, and not for lack of trying. Oh. Future expansions can't roll priest out. I have no idea. I guess it'll depend. I have no idea what the next expansion is going to be like. And I have no idea what I'm going to want to do for it. I guess I'll just have to find out. Dragonflight's been so fun, though. Maybe I'll continue to be an evoker. I don't know. I miss being a priest, but I like being fast. But I miss being a priest, but I like being fast. Glad they clarified the legendary odds. Yeah, it saves me some time because before we were doing, I mean, we might still do like a normal Sarkareth kill just for the sake of trying for the mount drop. And now we don't have to, or we were doing it for the sake of evoker legendaries. Now that we don't have to do that anymore, we might still do it for the mount, but we might not. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to continue doing it on LFR. I did LFR this one time this week, and now with the knowledge that I don't need to for my legendary, I think I'm just going to sit that out. If I had to guess, the next expansion takes us to Azeroth's moon. Maybe old god stuff. Gift of the Naru saved me my butt so many times. I really like having Gift of the Naru for a hunter in particular, because there's only so many ways you can top yourself back up after some damage. So I'm kind of like rotating survival of the fittest to try to take less from big booms. I'm using my exhilaration almost on cooldown to try to top myself back up during big damage, and then having Gifted the Naru to kind of just like sneak my health back up a little extra. Because as a healer, I know how hard it can be to keep hunters alive sometimes, so I'm trying to be very conscious of that whenever I'm playing the hunter. And it's wonderful having one extra thing that you can do to kind of help out. Delving into the plane of the void. Zandalite Troll regen. Is it just passive regen? I feel like I read about that. I've forgotten what it is though. I don't have a Zandalari Troll right now. I used to have one. I had a Zandatroll Druid that was deleted in the purge. 6-second channel. Oh yeah. What if I just need cannibalism? Sure, it takes a human or an undead corpse to do it, but it's a big ol' heal. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna do a Draenei or a Lightforged. I haven't decided which, but I'm gonna do some form of Draenei Warlock in the in 10.15 for an ult. Wow, my bags are full of trash. I gotta get rid of some of this stuff. Keep forgetting I have cannibalism on my undead tunes. I feel like I was gonna say it's nice for leveling, and then I thought to myself, I'm leveling an undead. Do I ever use cannibalism? In theory, it might be nice for leveling. In practice, you know, you get heirlooms on, you're cruising too fast, you're not taking any damage. On my bar and everything, just forget to use it. It's just a cool flavor spell. Also, I don't know when they changed this, but undeads can breathe underwater forever. It's not just longer, it's forever now. I was swimming on my undead ult and I was like, really? No breath bar? Okay. Alrighty, I won't argue. I could just live under there. Fellow role players are besides themselves trying to figure out how to do a Lightforged Warlock correctly. Yeah, Eridar skin would be cool. Undead I'm working on is a Jester Lock. Have the channeled Steel Life thing anyway. Hello all. Hi Katie. Good morning or afternoon. Morning I would assume, still for a little bit longer. I think you're on my time zone. It is a lovely probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 70 degrees and sunny here, if we're talking Fahrenheit. Hour behind? There's not many places that are behind. You must be one of them. You and then Hawaii. Lovely shady gray today. I'm in Dallas. Feels like I'm walking on the surface of the sun. Oh man, not my favorite. I guess you just like adapt your wardrobe to it and other things of your life. You just eat a bunch of spicy food, work up a sweat. Originally from Denver. 3/4 of my outfits don't work because I need a hoodie. Yeah, 70s Fahrenheit for sure. The day that it hits 70 Celsius here is not a day that I'm streaming. This equipment's not gonna work in 70-degree heat. This equipment's not gonna work in 70-degree heat. Oh, yeah, that's apocalypse territory. Low 80s, but humid. 24 Celsius in Scotland today. Not okay? You don't like 24? 24 sounds wonderful. It sounds like a lovely summer day. 10 here in Tillamook. Celsius? Fahrenheit. Celsius. Not Fahrenheit. 10 Fahrenheit's. 10 Fahrenheit's not. It's not 10 Fahrenheit there. Yeah. I was thinking, hang on a second. That would be icy. I know there's like mountains up there, but... Northern Missouri is supposed to be in the lower 90s today. Chance of severe thunderstorms later. Oh. Anything above 16, we are not used to that heat. Oh, man. People just roll up their pants and pretend that they're shorts. Where did you get the Druid plush? BlizzCon. They sold them as BlizzCon merch. I was able to buy one on the gear store eventually. I don't think they carry those specific ones anymore. But I camped the gear store for ages for that thing because I wanted one really bad. And they sold out of them. I was at the BlizzCon where they sold them, but they sold out of them at the store. And then they sold out of them online. But then for some reason I knew they were going to come back. I don't know. They still had the listing or something. It was just out of stock. So I would like check back and check back and check back and check back. I think when you can get Gul'dan and take him with you, you'll get them out. Yeah, you might be right. I was just thinking about that recently. It's like, in 10.1.5, I'm just going to bring him Gul'dan, and I'm going to be like, look, it's your dad. Here you go, bud. Field trip. Will I be holding another HazelCon? The last one was great. If you like the last one, you'll like the next one. It's just as imaginary. Icky days when it stays 25 until like 10 p.m. There's something kind of cool about walking around in the evening when it's getting dark, but it's still like really warm out. But it also, I feel like that's when you get eaten alive the most by the bugs. Anything? No? Okie dokie. I got one more run to do. I might need to venture some stuff. I'm sure I can pull up like a mount. Actually, probably here. Let's clear some room, eh? Oh, I have some pet charms in this character. I've just been buying polished ultimate battle training stones with my polished pet charms whenever I think about it. I'm not going to completely clean up. I'm just going to kind of smash some room. I don't think this character's carrying around any gear that she actually like needs, so I think I can pretty safely get rid of all of it. Yeah, more or less. Trying that down here with mosquitoes big enough to carry off a small dog. Oh, rain. Difficulty normal. I think this will be my last attempt of the day. I don't think I'm going to run it again after this. Send me in. Is Nazura being formed the new? The ice stone has melted. It's the new citizens of Dalaran. Raise your eyes to the skies and observe. I don't know if I'm a big fan of zone yells. Is the next patch what Were they making a quick transport to? Thought it was Raiden Warlords. They are making a skip in the next patch for Garrosh in the Siege of Orgrimmar. In 10.1.5, if you have killed Garrosh before, you'll be able to port directly to the end of that raid on all of your characters in your account. I hate that skip already. I wonder what would make me go back and farm more Dragon Soul. I'm sure I'm missing some transmog from there, but it can't be much transmog. You'd think I would have gotten a lot of it in the process of farming the mounts. Where is that exactly? So, not in the game just yet, but when it does come out, the entrance is in Vale of the Eternal Blossoms in Mists of Pandaria. It can be either time version of Vale. It doesn't matter if you're in the Old God Invasion or not, but there's a raid entrance that's marked on your map there. And people farm Garrosh for... There's a Scorpion Mount, as well as a plate shoulder transmog that people really like. Hazel, did you ever watch Mrs. Maisel? I saw the first season way back in when it first came out, ish. I liked it well enough. Gorkron Juggernaut, that's the name of it. That's the one. Farming T-Mog in the new patch, shoulders too. I mean, Tusks and Manaroth are a cool shoulder mog. Just be emotionally prepared for a big grind, because they do not drop often. Should run Siege for funsies. Do you think they'll make skips for other longer raids? Maybe, but I wouldn't get your hopes up. I think Siege was a little bit of a special case because of how long and annoying and still kind of buggy to solo it was. Although I feel like you could apply that same argument to Dragon Soul. I think if they were gonna do another one, Dragon Soul would be your next best bet. Recently got Wasted Time, so happy because it matches my mog. Nice. Excuse me, does one of you want to open the door? There. Are you gonna do it? What did I do last time? I feel like I ran out and then back, and then that like triggered the RP. I'm gonna run down to here and this way. I think if you run up too fast, you can get... Yeah, there you go. You just need Philosopher to do it. I just want Dragon Soul to eat the spine. They've finally fixed Klaxi and Siege. Kill him willy-nilly now. Willy-nilly! That's nice. I don't think I've set a toe in there since I got my mount. Not even a teeny tiny little itty bitty bit. Yeah, Nighthold's got good music. I can't believe I got the enchant off this guy. Wild. I'll transmog. Some shoulders. What's the real life equivalent of collecting transmog? I mean, I guess the nice thing about collecting transmog in a game is that it's digital, so you don't need like a huge closet. I suppose some people really do collect clothes like that. I was thinking more like stamps or coins. Thrifting. Here, I can turn it down a little bit. Instagram influencer closets are the equivalent. Yeah, I don't know. That stresses me out. Collected books for a long time, but it made moving tough. Yeah, I was pretty happy to move to digital books because of how nice it makes moving. $20 souvenir shirt from Planet Hollywood in a thrift store for 99 cents. Sick. My red flannel that I wear all the time was a thrift store one. It wasn't 99 cents because thrift stores are not the prices they used to be, but I like it. It's got snaps. Easy way to check and see what mounts from dungeons and raids you haven't collected. Would like a checklist add-on. What I do is and it's not an add-on, it's a web page that I go to, but I go to, do I have a command for this, Simple Armory? No. I go to simplearmory.com and I look up my character there because that's going to show me, here, I'll demonstrate. So we go to Simple Armory, simplearmory.com, and then you can look up your character. You can also just type in the name if you really want to. And then it's going to, under collectibles and mounts, I really like this interface because it breaks it down by expansion and it breaks it down by source. So if I want to see which mounts from Dragonflight I'm specifically missing, those are all up here. I can see that I don't have either of the treasure mounts, so I need one from Expedition Packs and one from the Seething Cache in the Caverns. I'm missing one vendor mount. That would be the Ponzo Barter Boulder mount. I have the Zenit Hatchling and the Salamanther, but I'm missing the Chirocta mount as well as the Breezebiter mount. And I just really like the way this organizes it all visually without a ton of extra clutter. And then if you want more information about something, if I wanted to know about this one, you click on it, it's a direct Wowhead link, and then you're going to have all of your information. So that's how I do that. It's not an add-on, it's a website, but it's better. I like the way that it lays it out. Yeah. Buy them on Kindle first, and if I really, really love them, then I'll buy a physical pretty copy for the bookshelf. The other thing that Simple Armory does that people like is in that same interface. Do I still have it open? Simple Armory? In that same interface, you can tick this little show planner button at the top here, and it will actually tell you the steps to take to farm the mounts that you're missing from instances, and like, you know, Hearth to here, and then use your $1 on Hearthstone here, and then you fly here and you run this on this difficulty for this mount. And then you run this on this difficulty for this mount, and it'll kind of give you like an optimized pathing. If you need lots of mounts from instances, then that can be super useful, the planner section. This also works for things like toys, titles, pets as well. Companions, battle pets are the ones that you capture in the world, and then companions are battle pets that like drop from other stuff. I need Mr. Muskoxeles. I don't think you can get him just yet. I think that you would need to collect more pets than are available. I need Newsy. Anyways, getting distracted. Canada has pennies. We're kind of phasing them out, or like we did phase them out technically, so they don't, as far as I know, they don't issue them. And then places will just kind of round up or down the change. Because I'm pretty sure we made a decision to stop messing around with pennies because it was costing more money than it was worth. Simple Armory will pull from your whole account because you're well now I'm confused. I'm pretty sure it's an account-wide thing. Yeah, I got a pretty juicy mount collection. I have the benefit of having a really good excuse to just sit for hours every weekend and farm mounts, and have done so for years. It's just a process of having a lot of alts and just doing mount runs as a hobby. Eventually, if you keep at it long enough, they drop. Who's on the Canadian penny? Brian Adams. Oh man, you might be able to pay extra for that one. Who knows anymore? Not a big cache. I haven't spent a lot of time looking at my cache. As a kid, I was obsessed with the idea that if I looked at all my change, I could find a rare coin that was worth more than like the monetary value on it. So I would like take all the change in the house and I would like lay it all out and I would organize it and I would like look at all the years. And I didn't really know which ones were valuable. So I would just look for the really old ones and I'd be like, oh, cool, this penny's from 1912, which is kind of sick, you know, like that's a long time for a piece of tender to be in circulation. Are there class mets and stuff in my main tunes account? Yeah, I thought so. Figured. They're still legal tender if you have them, but they're not issued anymore. Yeah, I'm not too broken up about it. I don't think the cache smells like maple syrup, but it is if you get bills that are any amount of new. Not even that new anymore. They're pretty water resistant. They're like quite damage resistant. You can get them wet. They won't really tear very easily. They are a lot more durable. Canadian bills are a lot more durable than American bills anyways. I'm not sure what about the currency for the rest of the world. But I remember when I was in the States and I would get American bills, they were like kind of grimy. Like I know cash gets grimy, but they were like kind of almost gummy because it was basically, I mean, it's probably a little bit fancier than paper, but compared to modern Canadian bills, it was basically just paper. Yeah, it's not exactly laminated. They do have security features on them too. They've got all the different hollows and whatever, but yeah, they're definitely a little bit water resistant. Have that in the UK too. I used to work at a credit union. I found a $100 bill from the year my grandma was born. Oh, looks like Monopoly money now. Yeah, in theory I like them, but in practice I just use the tap payment that modern credit and debit cards have now. The day that they let me pay for the bus with either that or with my phone is going to be a good day. They're trying to roll out digital payments or like phone payments to transit in Victoria. It's taken their sweet time with it. They keep saying they're piloting it. They've got the readers in the buses now. They just say coming soon. I like paying with my watch. Tap in buses in London. Right now, I still have to buy bus tickets and then feed them in because if you're like a student or if you have one through work, then there's like plastic pass cards that you can swipe. But if you are a pleb like me, then you have to buy bus tickets and then carry them around. Or change. You can also, I think you could also pay with actual coins, but I just buy sheets of bus tickets and I keep them in my wallet. Did I do botanist? No. Oops. I forgot to do botanist. Take the bus in the winter. They have phone passes. Pretty nice. But yeah, I'll be excited when I can pay with the phone. Especially because it'll make it easier to do day passes. And then you can just kind of bus all over town. I do drive in Canada. I just, I will take the bus if I'm going into downtown because the transit's pretty good here and parking's a nightmare. And I don't like driving in town where it's busy. So I use my car to go out of town to like visit family or go hiking or go fishing. Or like, you know, if it's something specific, like taking my cat to the vet, I'll use my car for that. But if I'm just going into town for like an errand or something, I'll usually bus. But yeah, I did get my license in Canada, and then I sold my car in the States, and I bought a car here, because it was going to be too much. It was going to be not worth it, basically. I could have imported my car, but it was going to be way more trouble than that car was worth. So I just sold and then got a different one. I miss my old car though. It was a little. It was itty bitty and it fit everywhere. I have a more standard sized car now. Denver's got a real decent transit system. Get from my house to downtown Denver like 45 minutes. Loved it. I just really like being driven places. I am the consummate passenger. I am so comfy to just sit on a bus or something or in the passenger seat of someone's car and just kind of look out the window and relax. It's like that time that my brain knows that there's nothing else I could be doing. I can't be working because I can't read. I get real motion sick. So there's nothing for me to do but daydream, and I love it. And then if you're on the bus and you can get yourself like a nice seat, and by that I just mean like a seat where you're not getting up and down a whole bunch, then it's a combination of the daydreaming plus a little bit of people watching, which is fun. You'd love the trains in Japan. I'm the opposite. Went from a larger car to a diddly one. Never loved a car more. Yeah, maybe one day I'll go back to an itty bitty one, but I'm hoping that this car lasts me for a very, very long time. When are you getting your own private driver? That's what the bus tickets are for. Oh man. Besides, I don't super love driving, but I know that the more I drive, the better I'll feel about it. So it's good that I'm forced to drive whenever I need to actually get somewhere that doesn't have a bus, because that's how I'm going to get practice. If I could get away with just having someone else drive me all the time, I probably would, and then I would like forget how to drive. So the only way I'm going to conquer the last of my driving anxiety is if I keep doing it. I like driving places that I've been to a handful of times, especially if I'm like confident in my route and I'm not going when it's crazy busy. I just don't like when you find out halfway somewhere that you're like, okay, so your next turn, you're going to get onto this freeway and then you have about one intersection to get left 4 lanes before you make a left turn, and also it's rush hour and good luck. You know, like I hate being surprised like that. I don't like having to do that. So if I know an area well enough to be able to plan my route so it doesn't involve situations like that, I feel way better about it. I just have a tendency to take the worst routes places the first time I go. Built like the male Coltiran. Me trying to get into a smart car would be like trying to get into a little Tex toddler car. Oh man. I could see myself driving like a little electric car one day, especially if I could charge it at home. Section of Toronto that's like that no matter what. Yeah. There's places in Victoria that are kind of like that too, and that's where the bus comes in. Bus drivers are fearless. They've done it so many times that they care about. They're just going. They're in a big bus. People get out of the way. Bought a RAV4. Love it. Couldn't trip 5 feet without seeing a smart car. Electric cars are getting pretty popular here. That and then people just like biking everywhere, which is nice. I used to really want a Leaf. I got to the point where I knew it whenever I would see one, and I'd be like, oh, that's my Leaf. Not that I had one or it was somebody else's Leaf, but I don't have, some apartment complexes will have electric car charging, but I do not have electric car charging where I'm at, so I would have to charge it in public places, and that's just too much of a pain in the butt for me. Out of the water spray when it rains. Besides, by the time I'm ready for my next vehicle, I might be looking more for a truck where I can haul bales of hay and chicken feed than anything else. Cute green Oldsmobile called the Tank. Full metal car. Trucker Hazel time. I mean, I got the hats for it. Yeah, I think that better gas mileage is probably a good thing to look for going forward, especially with how volatile gas prices can be on the island. It's nice to not need to fill up that often. I drive infrequently enough that whenever gas prices spike really high, I can usually just wait it out until they come back down. Gas prices will go like above $2 a liter, and I'll just kind of not drive for a while, and then eventually they'll fall back down to like 180 or something, and then I'll fill up the tank again. So you're driving a pickup for the convenience. If I genuinely needed to haul stuff, then I could see it. But I also could see myself just like getting stuff delivered or dropped off. You know, like you can get people to deliver loads of like soil, like topsoil and gravel and whatever else, and they'll just kind of dump it in a pile on your property, and then you can take your wheelbarrow and your shovel, and you can ruin your back any way that you like. Traveling to Victoria, recommendations on things to do. I'm a bad tourist guide because I don't go anywhere. I stay home and play WoW. I do love the Bouchard Gardens. I do love different hikes, depending on how far out of town you're willing to get. Thetis Lake isn't super far out of town, and that's a beautiful hike around a lake. Font of Night, yeah. But people ask me that every now and then, and I'm like, you know, my living room has my cat, but it's a private property. Locals are the worst tourist guides because they don't want to do tourist stuff. And I mean, if locals that know all the good places to go that are not the touristy spots are usually great tourist guides. I don't even have that. I I just like walking around all the different neighborhoods, visiting people's cats and looking at their gardens and stuff. Is the wax museum still there? Oh, probably. I don't know. It terrified me. They have like I don't know if they still have it, but when I went as a kid for a field trip, it was like a guillotine display. And I was real afraid of guillotines for a long time. Just tell tourists all the good restaurants. Miss Kira, I think she went back to bed. She was with me earlier in the stream. She was hanging out in my chair being all cute. And she slept on my lap a little bit, but I think she went back to her cubby. All right, Gul'dan. One last try for the day. One last attempt for the road. 1 milk, please. Speaking of going to bed, time for a little nap. Where is this store in the mountains? Does this not hurt? I don't think that hurts. I think I can just shower in that. Fellfire barbecued food. I feel like it would be kind of like a dry spice. Maybe he forgot it at home. Every time I see him, he's always here. Maybe this is his home. I don't know where he sleeps. Whenever I would design vacation homes for Animal Crossing characters in New Horizons, I would always try to give them like a little bed tucked away somewhere with like a little nightstand to make sure that they had a place to nap on. With the exception of, I redesigned Boomer's house and I gave him a gamer desk, a kitchen, and then a couch. And I figured he could just sleep at his desk or at his couch. Nothing. However, can't complain too much. I got the Chrono solution today. Not mad about that. Anyone else think the Midsummer Fire Festival in Loam bad taste since they had the whole Frank thing? 100% carcinogenic. Jelly at your illusion. I have to transmog it on somebody, right? Like somebody is gonna have to. Ooh, maybe when I do a mage actually. Maybe when I level a mage, I'll give them a staff and then I'll put the Chronos enchant on it. I know that's more of like an arcane mage thing. I guess you could also make an argument for the evoker wearing it too. It's only Saturday. We get to do another stream tomorrow. I'm probably doing alt leveling again tomorrow because we did our Nighthold chances. I tried. We did 3 full clears of it too. I have more 70s I could take, but I feel like this is an appropriate amount of attempts to do in a week. What was it? 15? 15 attempts in a week? I'm good with that. So tomorrow I would think that I would get maybe my hunter. She's currently at 64. I betcha if I really try, I could get her to 70 within a Sunday stream. So maybe I'll see if I can make that happen because that'll be my last-ish 60 to 70. Here, I'll show you my login screen. I have a couple characters that are waiting for the next time walking, but they're like these two are both healers. They're both 67, and then as soon as WoD time walking starts, I can finish those off easy with just like a handful of dungeons. Those won't take very long. This is the one that I want to finish tomorrow. Oh yeah, with Spiky. I tamed the new Basilisk pet. But yeah, 70s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 70s. Is that true? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 70s. Gonna be 11 once I get those two done. 12 once I get that one done. And then I get to actually make them new characters, you know? Or I could level Wormbin. Do you like Wormbin? Wormbin's my death knight. He's level 19. This is the priest that I've been leveling off stream. She's a shadow priest. She's an undead with the most amount of bones because that's my favorite way to play an undead. If my arms aren't coming out of my shoulders, then I don't see the point. The alt skip for the caverns is to just go there and start doing things. You do not need to do the campaign in order to start doing things like Researchers Under Fire and your digs. If you do at least up until they introduce Loam to you, then that will help with something or another. But yeah, basically the skip is that you can just kind of go there. If you make a dwarf, Well, you talk like a dwarf IRL, you should. They must look as putrid as possible. Let me remove my jaw. I liked her with the relatively pretty face, but then just no hair. I'm a big fan of this. But we'll make something else, but that'll be a next week thing because, oh no, doesn't time walking start next week? I don't know, we'll figure it out. Thank you for joining me today for the stream. I had a wonderful Saturday morning. Thank you for keeping me company on my Nighthold mat runs. I appreciate you guys. I will be back tomorrow morning at the same time, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.